conference, and as I mentioned, the program's meeting for the first time. Tim Lester is across the way in his 5th year. He's 25-21. Lester has a 9-13 road record. His 11th year overall. He's come from humble beginnings, but now the head man at Western Michigan. Moments away from that opening kickoff, it's Pitt and Western Michigan. Pittsburgh had won the toss, and so they'll get the ball to start the second half, and we'll see Western Michigan on offense first. James, number 5, Caleb Ellaby, will lead that offense for the Broncos.
Yeah, a little bit younger, Wormy, than the guy on the other side taking the snaps, but Caleb Ellaby is very special. He's not the best athlete out on the football field, but when it comes to arm strength, he can throw it all the way down the field, and he can throw it with accuracy. Usually either a guy has a cannon or he's very accurate. You've got the combination with number 5, the sophomore Caleb Ellaby from Maryland Heights, Missouri.
Threw for 174 yards in the win a week ago at home against Illinois State. 28-0. This is Sean Tyler up the middle. Broncos come in with a 1-1 record. And again, that home win against Illinois State last week, where they rolled up over 400 yards of total offense.
Well, you can expect this Pitt team is going to say, throw it here today. We're not going to let you run. And by the way, Ellaby's from Maryland, not Missouri. What a loser. Started off like that. My O and my D's were wrong.
2nd and 8 now for the Broncos. Keep it on the ground. That's Sean Tyler again. Lost his hat in the process, and Brandon Hill was celebrating coming out of that pile for the Panthers.
Yeah, Tyler will have to take a play off as his hat comes off with no flag. How about this, though? Western Michigan knew exactly what they were going to get from this Randy Bates, Pat Narduzzi defense, and they're going right at it. They knew they were going to get that box loaded up, and a nice gain there on 2nd down to make it a 3rd and interesting 3 yards to go.
Ellaby connected on 15 of 21 attempts and 1 touchdown pass in the win last week. Jefferson is the back to his right. Fake and throw. Toss on the edge. Crooms inside the 40 and down the sidelines for extra yardage and a 1st down. Williams had to force him out, and the sticks will move for the Broncos.
That's a nice first possession. Both of these teams have struggled early on in games, their first possessions. Good job by Nunnally to help pave the way for Crooms. And it's a very deep wide receiver room. Good wide receiving unit for Western Michigan. A lot of targets for Ellaby to throw to. Nice, strong, physical offensive line. We got to keep being able to run the football throughout the day against this stingy defense, too.
12 yards on the previous play. This is over the middle and caught. Crooms again. There is a penalty back inside the 40-yard line. Offensive backfield of Western Michigan. Penalty flag down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 21. The 15-yard penalty be added to the end of the run. It results in an automatic 1st down.
Right side of your screen, coming in late on Ellaby. Ball was gone. Looked like Mathis tried to pull up a little bit, but still banged into the body. Ellaby goes down, and adding on, very accurate with his first 2 throws. Caleb Ellaby, and these guys glad to have Mathis back out there after he missed 2020 with an injury, but can't have those penalties. Only had 1 in the game against Tennessee last weekend.
From the 28-yard line. Quick pass over the middle again. This is going to be Sky Moore, number 24, making the catch. That is down near the 17-yard line. That's another 1st down.
And watch, Ellaby's going to take another shot. His head coach, Tim Lester, warned him. He said, hey, you're going to get hit a lot, and you'll feel it. But he knows that his quarterback's tough. He knows that this Pitt defense is going to be right there in his grill all day long. But he's been right on the money here on this opening drive. This is exactly what these Broncos needed from the giddy-up.
Into the red zone of their first possession for Ellaby and the Broncos. Again, they try over the middle, and the pass is batted down. And that was Brandon Hill making the play.
Well, Brandon Hill's he's just a playmaker. He had the big interception last year The return for a touchdown against FSU. Look at him go up high and put a paw on this one. He knows he's not going to make it there. Let's get involved. Good, smart football play. That's what you expect all the time. Top to bottom, front to back from a Randy Bates coach defense.
Hill also had a key interception in the fourth quarter at Tennessee last week in the win for Pitt, 41-34. Ellaby wants a timeout, and it will be granted. Had to ask several officials first, but finally gets the timeout with the ball resting at the 17-yard line. So the Broncos, with the benefit of the personal foul, James, able to move the ball in their first possession, and that will take us right to our Ford keys to the game. They're brought to you by your local Ford dealer, James Bates.
I went Generation Z with the theme here today. Catch these hands. They got to be tough, Western Michigan. They didn't really get pushed around in the big house against Michigan, but they've got to be even tougher. They've got to be strong against this strong Pittsburgh front. So they've got to be physical and establish the run that football. And for Pitt, so basic, just basic fundamentals of football. That's what Pat Narduzzi wants. Block and tackle, wrap up, bring guys to the ground, do your thing. A lot's changed in football over the years since Dan Marino was here, but a lot hasn't. When you get back to the basics, that's how you win football games. And that's how they won the football game last week against Tennessee in Neyland Stadium. Probably better athletes on the Tennessee side. But good hard-nosed football, taking care of the football, not turning it over, not having a lot of penalties. It's what helped them get the win.
5 sacks and a couple of fumble recoveries for the Pitt D, trying to put the pressure on Ellaby. Lost his footing, and down he goes. Back to the 29 of Pitt. Officially at the 28 as Ellaby was pressured. Danielson first on the scene.
Well, Ellaby, he isn't a speedster, but he usually does a good job of buying some time, avoiding the rush. Here his feet go out from underneath him, and he falls on his own. And Tim Lester said, if this guy could run, we'd never lose a football game. And whereas he can't run in the open field, maybe, that doesn't happen to him. He usually is able to avoid and buy a little bit of time and hit his open receivers, but going the wrong way on that one, and now it's a 3rd and 21 after what looked like a pretty drive.
Lost 11 on the previous play. They'll work the flat of the edge. Bounced out of bounds was Tyler. Well short of the marker, which is down at the 7 or 8 yard line, and this is 4th down now for the Broncos.
Parker Simpson will come out as head coach Tim Lester talks it over with his quarterback. And week 1 was a rough week special teams wise for Western Michigan. Lester felt like they improved a good deal last week. See if special teams can help them get on the board first.
Just 1 attempt so far this season for Sampson, and it was blocked. This one is off to the left and no good. 42-yard attempt is no good from Sampson, now 0 for 2 on the season. So the Panthers will take over first offensive series, and we get to look at Kenny Pickett, 6'3", 220, and a senior from Oakhurst, New Jersey.
39th career start for number 8. And a chance, as we mentioned off the top of the show, to pass up Dan Marino. Tino Sunseri will be first to go if he can pass the 9 yards that separates him in 3rd place on the all-time list.
It'll be Davis first. Vincent Davis, 5'8", 175 pounds, and a junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. When last we saw Vincent Davis, he was running all over Georgia Tech. Had an incredible game to close out last year. Ran for 247 yards, James, on 25 carries against the Jackets.
Ended up being the last game of the season for this Pitt football team. Here they'll go empty. You'll see that a lot, too, today.
Pickett's pass. Vincent Davis up beyond the 30-yard line, perhaps the 31-yard line. Barnes moved him out of bounds after the catch.
Quick throw and good blocking on the outside to help get that edge. And Vincent Davis, Izzy Abanikanda will run the ball. We'll trade it up today.
On 3rd down, Pickett, long pass, and the leaping attempt from Jordan Addison. Couldn't come up with it.
Addison, just a sophomore, but such a special receiver, and looked like he only had one hand free to go up and try to pull it down. If anybody's going to pluck it out of the air, it's number 3. So it'll be a 3 and out. Nice job by the Bronco defense. Going to have their hands full here today, and not the start that Narduzzi wanted. Mark Whipple, they really wanted to start fast here this afternoon.
Christodoulou, senior punter from Melbourne, Australia. This will take a pit bounce inside the 20 and down at about the 19-yard line. So we'll take a timeout. No score. Early first quarter. ACC. Second possession of this quarter for Caleb Ellaby and the Broncos is Jalen Hall, one of the receivers, and he is part of our Impact Players, James, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers.
Yeah, Jalen Hall, his 11th career touchdown reception last weekend against Illinois State. Big guy, 6'3", can go up and get it. And Haba Baldonado, a junior from Rome, only played Rome, Italy, not Rome, Georgia, or Rome, New York, mind you. Only played 1 year of high school football, big-time defensive end.
Sky Moore. About to the 20-yard line, a modest gain on first down for Western Michigan.
They'll take it, just having 24 back out there. That's a special sophomore for the Broncos, just like Pitt has one. Sky Moore, knee twisted in the Michigan game. He missed last week. He's back out there, part of that good depth in the wide receiver room at Western Michigan.
Week 1 was a loss at Michigan, 47-14. Broncos gave up 551 yards of offense to the Wolverines, and there are several penalty markers.
False start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's the official word from referee Tim O'Day.
And that's a freshman, Jacob Gideon. He can't do it. And you know, these defensive linemen, this defensive front for Pittsburgh, they're twitchy and they're good. And so you can't blame these offensive linemen for trying to be on their toes and get a little bit of a jump. Just ask Tennessee in their home stadium, Neyland Stadium last week. They had all kinds of trouble jumping off sides. You got to hold your ground, and if you can't hear that snap with the student section back there, watch for that ball out of the corner of your eye. You're right next to it.
Ellaby. They run him down. Elijah Cansey takes Ellaby to the turf.
There you go, number 8 right there in the middle, just running right by his guy, overruns but turns and burns after he runs past the point of attack on the quarterback. Just a sophomore from Miami Northwestern, wore these colors in high school with the Northwestern Bulls. They've got their song is "I'm so glad that I wear blue and gold." He's still wearing it, still glad. Pitt fans are glad too. Third down and 12.
Bates belting out the tunes. Here's third down and long. And they are not going to get it. Sky Moore got wrapped up by several Pitt defenders. And it's fourth down.
Randy Bates' defense just swarming. Watch the angles. The yellow hats getting there in a hurry and turning him back inside. First guy, very important. They had a big hitter against him against Tennessee last week. They let the guy get outside. First guy's got to turn him back into your buddies.
Nick Mahalik will punt to Melquise Stovall. Stovall wants the fair catch, ranging back near the 33 or 4 to make it successfully. Pitt has the football when we come back. 8:18 to go in our 70s, early 80s. Jimbo Covert.
You know, one of the reasons why Dan Marino had all those passing yards, had all that success. 1983.
Yeah. Won a Super Bowl with the Bears too, James.
Mike Ditka in that draft, 1983, was taken as the 6th pick, so there was one guy we had our eyes on the whole time. Yep. And this one right here, coming from Pitt. From Conway, Pennsylvania, west of Pittsburgh.
He's got the standing ovation going, and Jimbo recognizes it as Part of the College Football Hall of Fame as well. So now we're ready to go 1st and 10 for the Panthers. That ball at about the 33-yard line. That's just 6 yards on that first drive. This is Pickett, wants to throw. This is a deep ball. In stride. It's Addison. Addison to the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers.
Just give him a chance. We've seen a few times early this season, guys off the mark when their receivers have the defensive backs beat. Jordan Addison does his job, and Kenny Pickett lays it out there for him to run underneath. Just too easy for Pitt. And oh, by the way, so long, Dan Marino. That's the 57 plus that was needed. You knew that it would come early, and it happens on one foul swoop. Goes past Sansiri and Dan Marino as well.
67 yards on the play, James, all the way to Addison.
Can I pick it? Yes, you can. Look at the sophomore go. 3's the magic number for Pitt. Remember, A.J. Thomas, the safety, he's out, injured for Western Michigan. He's a senior, so had to have the freshman in there, and they love the freshman's play. He's a tough guy. It's also a tough call to try to run across the field with the likes of Jordan Addison and taking advantage of that matchup.
5th TD pass of the season for Pickett. 3rd touchdown reception for Jordan Addison. Came into the game as the leading receiver, and you see why, as Addison created some separation and 6 points. Ben Sauls kicks it away. Nunnally, the deep man. That'll sail into the end zone. Well, what did Mark Whipple tell us in our meetings, James, about looking for that explosive play? He didn't care whether it was on the ground or in the air, but Pickett did it through the air to Addison there.
Yeah, Narduzzi wanted some explosive running plays, and Coach Whipple said, hey, I don't care what they are. I just want the big plays. I want the big scores, and he certainly got it right there. Now his offense will get a rest, and this Pitt defense going to try to keep on charging, whereas Western Michigan, they'd like to get a little bit of success going on the ground like they had in that opening series. Some good things going on the ground, and opened up those passing lanes to the ground first.
That first series, as a flag comes out, ended in a missed 42-yard field goal for the Broncos. Again, a penalty marker on the field on that first down run. Referee is Tim O'Day.
Holding. Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
And that's the young pup one more time who jumped early. And there you see that's an easy call. Just wrapping up Servassier Dennis. A tough one to get your hands on, but everybody could see it. So going back the wrong way, and it goes without saying, Tim Lester knows it. You can't come into a place like this if you want to pull off the upset and give them a bunch of freebies. Put yourself in a tough situation like that. Now it's 1st and 19.
Big hit. Torres made the catch, and he got popped by Damari Mathis. Some pad cracking action on the field.
Yes, sir. Former Lakeland Dreadnought in high school. Tough kids down there in Polk County, Florida. And you know what? Smart as well. Look at him. Back in the day, you're going to lower that head and go right at him. But he's, well coached. And then you're starting to see that more and more in college football. Guys keeping that head out of it. No question. Nowhere close to a targeting. Just a nice, clean pop.
Mathis giving up 55 pounds to the tight end Torres. That pass is caught. Moore over the middle. That is right there, James, right at the 35, and that could be enough. And it is.
Boy, they were right about the accuracy of Ellaby. I mean, he's on the money every time here so far, and a nice job to fight and take it forward by Moore. And just barely enough with that extra scrap to move those chains, and that's a big one after that penalty. Starting off 1st and 19. And now a fresh set of downs.
Ellaby is now 7 of 8 through the air. He's got Jefferson to his left in the backfield. He's the leading rusher for this Bronco team. Pump and a throw. Just beyond the reach of the intended receiver, Jalen Hall. And a flag is out as well. Hallett was defending 31 in blue and gold.
Pass interference. Defense number 31. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Eric Hallett just living to play another play. Here's the grab right there. As he breaks up, they switch off in coverage. And, you know, and that's a smart play by Hallett. Receiver was already well by him. And otherwise, that was a ball that had a little bit of air underneath it. Had he not been held, it might be off to the races for Jalen Hall. So another first down via penalty.
From midfield for the Broncos. A little delay. Jefferson. He's got some room and he rumbles for a first down. He's down to the 37-yard line of the Panthers.
Well, nice job up front, opening up those holes. Look at big Mike Caliendo, the captain, the center, going up to the next level and helping those extra yards. So back-to-back-to-back first downs now after the nice carry.
From the 37, Ellaby continues to work the middle of the field. Caught near the 26-yard line, Corey Crooms.
He's quick. Three-step, what the timing would be, drop it in the shotgun and running those routes, and guys on the same page. Ball's waiting there for them as they're coming out of those breaks.
It's a third catch for Crooms. This one down near the 10 and out of bounds near the 5 for Crooms. Back-to-back grabs, first and goal, Western Michigan.
Wouldn't the Tennessee Volunteers like to have a quarterback as accurate as this? How many missed throws last weekend did they have? And now here's the tempo offense trying to get Pitt unsettled.
Up the middle to the 2 for Jefferson. Darius Jefferson, a junior from Columbia, Mississippi. Jefferson has 3 rushing touchdowns on the season for Coach Lester as well. Will they continue to go to him in short yardage down by the Pitt goal line? He is the back. Caleb Ellaby. Second and goal, Broncos. Further instruction from the sideline. Ellaby looks one way and throws the other, back of the end zone. That one is wide and incomplete, looking for Jalen Hall along that back edge of the end zone.
Nice job there defensively by this Pitt defense. Nothing doing and forced to throw it out the back of the end zone. So here's a third down and goal from inside the 5.
1 for 3 on third down of the first quarter for Western Michigan, but none of this magnitude. Late in the first, trying to get on the board with Pitt up 7-0. Just beyond the 3, Ellaby looking back the other way. Incomplete. Flag is out. Looking for Hall. Damari Mathis was the Pitt defender.
Plenty of time. Good protection up front by that offensive line. Extra back end to help out.
Pass interference. Defense number 21. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule of the ball, we played at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
So Mathis draws the flag again. They're a little too early as he's just playing chase, trying to catch up with Jalen Hall. An excellent job by quarterback and receiver to get on the same page, and that ball was sitting out there waiting on Hall. Had it not been for another penalty, might have been a touchdown.
7th play of the drive. Ellaby still has it. There was some confusion on both sides of the ball prior to that snap, James. You saw Pitt trying to get personnel on the field, and then it looked like there was a miscommunication with a handoff for Ellaby.
Well, here's the official to make sure they get the substitution right in front of the quarterback. You know, those officials will stand in there and make sure when the offense substitutes, you got to be able to match.
Movement on the field at the snap. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
And this is not the basics. This is not that key that we talked about earlier. And this is not what won them the football game last week. It was a clean football game. It was from a penalty standpoint, from a taking care of the football and taking it away from them standpoint. Yes, special teams was a bit of a mess early, but they got it cleaned up. They weathered the storm. They've got to clean things up right now. They're helping out this Western Michigan team.
Tight formation Broncos. Looking for the QB sneak. Not quite enough from Ellaby. So there is no gain on the play.
Look at those Pitt guys going low. That's pretty. That's a good shot. Guys up front going low, submarining underneath, low pad wins. You don't get any lower than the grass. And then that second wave, those linebackers come there and clean it up. That second wave especially, you got to tackle up high because those guys will lean into the end zone, going pad for pad and standing them up.
We'll take another chance, a leaping effort. It's a touchdown. That was Sean Tyler on the leap and score at the goal line. The Broncos an extra point away from tying this game against Pitt.
Well, the 1-2 punch for the Broncos are Jefferson and Tyler, a big man and little man. They put the little big man in, and he tries to go up top, rolls his way into the end zone. And a big pat on the back from offensive lineman Wesley French. Good job by French and company on that drive. Excellent job answering by the Broncos.
Second rushing touchdown of the year for Sean Tyler, who elevated and scored. And orchestrating that drive at quarterback, Caleb Ellaby. Lindsay with more from the sidelines.
That's right, guys. I spoke with Caleb Ellaby earlier this week, and he said he knew he was going to be throwing the ball a lot this week. Coach Lester also told us the minute he walked on campus, he was a leader. He went around, introduced himself to everybody, and was creating relationships. Also, speaking with Caleb, he said that he has fantastic relationships with all of his receivers. They knew today was going to be a big one.
Absolutely, Lindsay, and an early enrollee. He got to campus early, so it wasn't like he was even a true freshman coming in. He came in early and just a natural leader, made it a point to go by and make sure that he found out who everybody was and introduced himself to his new teammates, and they're glad to have him in town. Boy, the accuracy, you see it, you watch the first couple games of the year, and you hear him talk about it, but it's when you sit here and you watch it live, it's impressive. We've seen a couple balls hit the ground, but there have been penalty flags thrown as well to slow down the receivers. They're clicking right now. They're 2 for 3 on drives. We talked about the missed field goal at the end of the first drive, but it was Western Michigan that hurt themselves. They're having their way right now. They're going to have to turn things around for Pitt.
Saw that drive was 9 plays and 73 yards, almost 4.5 minutes. Stovall with the fair catch. Ellaby was 9 of 12 for 95 yards so far on the day. As James was talking about his accuracy, our impact players are brought to you by your local Toyota dealers with Pitt on offense.
Izzy Abanikanda. It's the Abanikanda and Davis show. They're in the backfield to start things off, and Izzy can really go. That sophomore from Brooklyn. Maybe he's the one that'll have the explosive play from the running back spot. And Bryson Garner, the former Pitt Panther, a captain here today, went to Central Catholic right here in Pittsburgh. Homecoming.
Pickett eludes the rush and then throws it into the Western Michigan bench. Corvin Moment was providing pressure on a running Kenny Pickett coming out of that pocket.
There's Garner. Pitt grad transfer, one of 17 grad students on the team. Had his first career interception against Illinois State last weekend.
Abanikanda. 5'11", 215, and a sophomore. And there is a flag on the play.
Sideline warning. Pittsburgh, they're first. There is no yardage markup for the first warning for sideline warning.
You've been warned, Bates.
Yeah, it's probably Narduzzi. He's been warned. He's always hopping over on that sidelines. Very active.
Abanikanda had 12 carries, 43 yards in the effort against Tennessee a week ago. For the Panthers, Pickett, a little bit of time, crumbling pocket. Here comes Pickett, charging up the middle, and he lost the football near the 40. Pickett lost the handle on a scramble run. And Zaire Barnes has the football for the Broncos. And Pickett is still down for Pittsburgh. We will step aside late in the first and come back and check on the status of Kenny Pickett. Let's keep it here for a moment. Corvin Moment, number 20 in white, made the hit on Pickett and he lost control of the football, and then Barnes ended up with it.
A nice looking run to make guys miss. It looked like the ball was coming out when that knee hit. And this we had this talk yesterday with his offensive coordinator Mark Whipple. His quarterback, he loves to run it, but you know we've got to be smart and we've got to be real about this. You know, it's free game. He's a runner. That ball's out, so that will be a fumble. It will be Bronco football. Let's just hope that Kenny Pickett's okay though, because they're still taking a look at him. He immediately you could see he was in pain when he went down.
Pickett had a rushing touchdown a week ago at Tennessee. He's got 16 for his career, and that ties a school record. Right now, though, the health of Kenny Pickett of the utmost importance to that training and medical staff of the Panthers. And that is a good sign. He really hit the turf hard, and you can see there's the remnants of some of the grass bits and dirt stuck in the cage and face mask of Kenny Pickett.
It looked like he was holding that right arm gingerly, but there he grabbed that chin strap buckle, so that's a good sign. Here's one more look at it. Ball coming out.
James, he's got Moment and Bonham falling on him.
Whipple said, hey, I got a quarterback that likes to run. He you know, and we talk about Abanikanda and Vincent Davis running the football, but he's part of that rushing package as well. Nick Patty, who's started one game for Pitt. Remember, Pickett was banged up and missed a couple big ones last year. Miami and Notre Dame. No telling what would have happened there if they had number 8.
Ellaby wants a deep ball. This is down inside the 5. Over the shoulder catch. Jalen Hall looking it right into his hands at the 3.
My goodness. What a throw. Nice pocket for Ellaby and drops it right in there. A perfectly thrown football. Knocking on the door one more time. Western Michigan, they want to take a look at it though.
It's under review.
It wasn't terrible coverage by the defensive back either. So control is first, and that's going to be the question: is that ball controlled by Hall? You have to watch for control first. That's the first step, and that right foot comes down on the boundary line, out of bounds if he doesn't have control before that. All right, so let's see. Are they going to call that control as he switches off? Remember, a call to catch on the field.
That means, James, you must have indisputable video evidence to overturn the call, which on the field was a catch, and it was a 38-yard pass play. If it stands, Ellaby would be 10 of 13 for 129 yards in this first quarter. Tim O'Day watching the monitor, along with our replay official, James Schaefer.
This is a tough one, too, because the body blocks. You see that ball, and it's held awkwardly, but it doesn't look like it's ever
After
out of
reviewing the
control.
play, the ruling on the field of catch stands as called. First down, Western Michigan.
James, you're right. I don't think it was indisputable video evidence, which is required to overturn the call.
Correct. You know, if you had a different angle, you might have had one more look at it. You might have had you know, justifiable argument, but that I don't think you can overturn that one, because even though the ball was sitting at a weird angle, it was never out of control. And that left foot was down, right foot wasn't. And here come the Broncos trying to take the lead.
Inside the 5 again, trying to barrel up the middle. Ladarius Jefferson ran into that Pitt D at about the 2-yard line. 145 total yards in the first quarter for Western Michigan. Knocking on the door again, James.
Boy, he just goes. Servassier, Dennis steps up in that hole. And the big man on defense and the big man on offense.
2nd and goal. A short gain for Jefferson. Spun down to the turf near the 1.5-yard line.
Good job defensively, getting stingy in here after that big pass play. Tim Lester on 3rd down the previous series went to throw it, and it was Pitt that helped him out with the interference penalty. It was Baldonado. See if they can get low again if they try to run it in. I think they're going to throw it though.
Ellaby, pass at the goal line, hits the turf, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down, looking for Tyler.
Tyler, who just had the touchdown on the ground, he's got to catch that one. There he is in the backfield out there. Those are the kind of balls that have to be caught when you're on the road against a team like Pitt. Going to go for it on 4th down, though.
Panthers had a big goal line stand against Tennessee a week ago in the win. Now it's 4th and goal from the 1.5-yard line, and a timeout from Western Michigan. Sorry, James, I was getting a little excited there. 4th and short.
It's all right. Hey, this is what I'm sure that guy's a little bit excited too, Wormy.
Well, he was in our meeting when he came in and started talking about the win against Tennessee and what a great effort that was from his Panther team. And you mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. The start of that game was terrible for them. A block punt, a quick touchdown, and subsequent field goal for Tennessee. It was 10-0 before they realized they were in the game in Knoxville.
Well, and Narduzzi told us, he said, you know what, my number one key for that game to my football team was to weather the storm. He said, little did I know that it was going to be such a storm like that. But they certainly did weather it, and now they're weathering another storm, this one here at home in Pittsburgh. What a big victory it would be after the Kenny Pickett fumble and the deep ball of almost 40 yards to get him down on the door to have a goal line stand.
Ellaby, the quarterback. Jefferson, the back behind him on 4th and goal for the Broncos. Direct snap, up over the top, and a touchdown. Jefferson takes it in. The 2nd aerial TD from short yardage for the Broncos. Their 2nd touchdown of the quarter with 1:28 to go.
Big smile on the face of Ellaby, and there certainly should be. That offensive line is taking care of him and his backs here today. And on 4th down and goal, Tim Lester's team punches it into the end zone and takes the lead.
Sampson extra point. Western Michigan capped by a Jefferson 1-yard run. They take it 41 yards after the turnover from Pickett. Takes a minute 37, and it's 14-7 Broncos. And for more on the guy who just took it into the end zone, here's Lindsay.
Yeah, guys, when Ladarius Jefferson took that ball in, I'm not going to lie, I was down here thinking that was definitely going to happen. You know, he's only played in 8 games for Western Michigan. Last week, he had over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. He knew Pitt was going to be very skilled defensively. I spoke with him earlier in the week, said he was watching a ton of film on Pitt, being able to recognize the fronts, and he wanted to be a force in today's game.
Well, Lindsay, both those backs getting into the paint, Jefferson and Tyler, the sophomore and the junior. And Well, Tim Lester, he's an offensive guy, but his coordinators, Eric Evans and Mike Bath, who actually calls the red zone plays, he's been plenty busy, just about as busy as Evans has been here early in this game. Offense is clicking right now in a 7-point lead.
How about 10 first downs in the first quarter for Western Michigan? 129 yards through the air, 17 rushing yards, but 2 of those carries to the end zone. Short yardage from Tyler and Jefferson, both going over the top, leaping into the end zone. So the Panthers find themselves down 14-7. Stovall. He's got the 25, a little bit more before he dances out of bounds. Melquise Stovall on the return. Now remember, Kenny Pickett was shaken up after that fumble. Had a couple of players, a couple of defenders for Western Michigan fall on him. And it looks like Nick Patty is going to come out of that huddle, James, and we have seen him before for the Panthers.
Yeah, Panther fans have seen him a little bit this year even. The junior from Hillsdale, New Jersey. He's 5 of 5 through the air for 58 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. So no stranger to taking these snaps, but hoping that Kenny Pickett's okay.
Once again, Pickett is out of the ball game for the Panthers. Vincent Davis on the carry. James, we were here a couple of years ago in a tight game against Delaware for this Panther team, which they won. Nick Patty started that game for the Panthers. Remember it vividly?
Yep.
Patty over the middle, wide open receiver. Wayne on the catch up to midfield, and he lunges forward to about the 47 or 8 of Western Michigan, and a first down Pitt.
Jared Wayne on the receiving end here of a nice pass. Has to double catch it, but make sure he's got it secure. Go up and move those chains. And against Tennessee, he had the 16-yard touchdown pass there in the second quarter to the tight end, Lucas Kroll. And there's Gardner, the former Pitt Panther, down.
He made the tackle of Jared Wayne after the catch. It was 17 yards to Wayne, but right at midfield, that is Garner, senior from right here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it looks like friendly fire. See his teammate coming in there trying to clean it up. That's a big old body too. McGuire, 310-pound senior defensive tackle. Hopefully he's okay. Sure, everything else is clean. These guys have done a good job of keeping their hats, and not leading with the crown. He's got the head over to the side. Nice form wrap-up tackle. His buddy's just turning and burning, hitting him up. So hopefully he's okay and be able to get back in this football game.
The junior Nick Patty steps up, looking for the safety valve, but incomplete. In and out of the hands of Vincent Davis.
Got to look it in. We saw the double catch by Wayne moments ago. He caught it. Davis takes his eyes off of it, doesn't look it all the way in. This was an issue last year. It was an issue in week 1. They cleaned it up last week, but you can't let it rear its ugly head once again. 2nd down and 10 coming up now.
Patty hands it off to Davis. Flag comes out. Batters his way to the 40. Zaire Barnes on the tackle. There is a penalty marker on the field.
It's going to be a hold and go back the other way. Ralph Hawley was getting held there on the end.
Almost 1 o'clock. Holding. Offense number 60. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 2nd down.
Owen Drexel making his 4th career start. Drexel backed up Jimmy Morrissey the last couple years. Center for these Pitt Panthers.
Jimmy Morrissey is in town with the Raiders, taking on the Steelers tomorrow.
That'll be a fun one. I'll have a good time here at Heinz Field with that one.
Gonna run it. Davis, he's got nothing. Forward progress to the 42. Awesome 2 on the play for Davis.
And Lindsey, he went to the locker room, but he's back out. It's good to see him back out there moving around throwing the football.
It definitely is. You know, I spoke with Kenny earlier this week. He said he likes the contact, and Narduzzi said he's one of the toughest kids that ever played for him. We're about to find out how tough he is, guys.
Absolutely. He stays on that sideline right now. Nick Patty still leading the show here into the second quarter.
Second series for Patty. On the roll and throw. Leaping grab is made near the 40-yard line. Taysir Mack has the catch for the Panthers.
The transfer from Indiana, Taysir Mack, who's becoming more and more of a leader for this football team. Just setting up shop, knowing that his quarterback's rolling out to him. He's going to come find him and help him out a little bit. Nice throw and catch. Bringing up a 4th down, though, and they've got everybody out there going for it.
And Pickett is back out on the field. Throws. High percentage toss. That was to Addison. It was wrangled to the turf.
That's it. Nice stop on 4th down. Keep them in front. Nice defensive play. We talked about those defensive coaches on Pitt's side. How about Lou Esposito? His team came to get after it a little bit, too, and that was Harrison Taylor, the linebacker from St. Charles, Illinois, giving chase. Very smart heads-up football play. Hey, let him complete that all day long. I've got a couple yards behind me that you got to go. Nice secure tackle and a nice stop. Turnover on downs. There's a look at Taylor.
146 total yards for Western Michigan in that first quarter. A couple of rushing TDs as well from short yardage. Kincaid on that previous run. Numbers from the first quarter, James.
Well, there you see Western Michigan, and of those 146 yards, some important yards have come on the ground. Kincaid in there now at the running back spot, but they've been able to run it a little bit more than I thought they'd be able to. You know, this Pitt defense, notorious for just stacking that box and saying, go ahead and throw the football, which Western Michigan hasn't had much this year.
This pass complete. That's caught by Sky Moore. And you also saw, James, on that first quarter graphic, the time of possession for the Broncos. They had the ball 12 minutes in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's a team that likes to go fast, but they also have it in them to go ahead and just take a look to that sideline. They don't have to go at that warp speed, and they've got a nice rhythm going right now and a nice balance between running the football and tossing it around a little bit with a very accurate quarterback. One of the most accurate quarterbacks I've seen in a while.
Sky Moore has 5 catches in the game now. That's the rush from Kincaid. He got popped by Brandon Hill. So we've seen Tyler, Jefferson, and now Kincaid on this series. Pickett and Patty trying to figure out the Broncos. Pickett injured late in the first quarter. Patty's been in on the last 2 series. Panthers just misfired on a 4th down chance, and now the Broncos starting to march that ball inside the 40. Pitt. Ellaby. Deep ball. Down by the 5 and incomplete. Sky Moore. Stride for stride. Eric Hallett back there, the junior for the Panthers.
Nice job, a little bit of space, and we've seen Ellaby drop one in there perfectly earlier in this game. This one just a little bit too strong. Nice coverage, too, by Hallett. Had to be a perfectly thrown football. Giving Ellaby no choice, and here's a 3rd down and 5. An opportunity for Randy Bates' defense. This is where they like to eat. Here on 3rd down and medium, 3rd down and long. Let's see if they bring an extra body. 4 down linemen.
1 for 4 on 3rd down in the game for the Broncos. A surprise snap. Ellaby was able to react to the football just as he turned and started to look at the center, but a flag is out as well. Crooms was the receiver. Something wasn't right there.
Ball start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Gideon again, and he knows he's got his hands full. That time he's going up against David Green, the junior, and you see why. He's got to get that first step. He's got to get that jump to get across the face of Green, and he knows it, but just a little bit twitchy, a little bit too early. So now a 3rd down and 10 after they back it up.
Ellaby, left side. At the 32, into the hands of Jalen Hall, trying to spin away from his defender. First down, Broncos.
Boy, nice pitch and catch. Where are those sticks at? Jalen Hall knows where they are. The junior and his quarterback on the same page. You know who needs to know where they are? Is number 12 in that Pitt uniform, Devonshire. Know where they're trying to break those routes off at. Know where you are on the football field. Usually you get that. This is a well-coached Pitt defense. Devonshire's off right there and making them pay. The transfer from Kentucky, and it's a first down on 3rd and 10 conversion.
This is to a wide open man. The defender fell down, and Sky Moore is in the end zone. Ellaby to Moore, and a Broncos touchdown.
Just too easy. There's a little bit of a mix-up in the backfield. There you see the fake to the wrong side, or vice versa. But it doesn't matter when MJ Devonshire goes to the turf and the ball goes to Sky. Just too easy on.
Extra point, no good. Sky Moore with the touchdown grab. Devonshire lost the footing. Yellow gold hat on, but the expression is of frustration right now, James. 20-7, and the last 3 touchdowns of our game have come from Western Michigan. 2 short runs and the teeny pass of 30 yards to Sky Moore. Different expression across the way. Tim Lester. He's a former Western Michigan quarterback.
In the Hall of Fame there at Western Michigan. Talked to him a little bit about what it was like to go back and coach at his alma mater. He said, you know, when you hear the complaints, when you hear the jeers from the fans, you actually know the people now. When you see the bad comments on social media, they were in your wedding party. That's the only difference. Good talk with him and his coordinators this week.
Stovall stays in the end zone. Also made a fair catch indication. And Lester went into the Western Michigan Hall of Fame in 2011. Mark Whipple, who's coming out of that huddle right now, James? We've seen both Pickett and Patty. And Patty had to come in for a couple series because Pickett went down with an injury, but now he's coming back into the ball game for Pitt.
Waiting to exhale, Pitt fans here in Heinz Field, and they can do that now because the man that makes it all go right now, Kenny Pickett, is back out there. And boy, he hit that ground hard earlier.
On the delay with Davis. He's close to first down yardage. That should be enough at the 36. They got that big chunk play in the first quarter for a touchdown of 67 yards, and this time to the ground.
Yeah, Vincent Davis, there's not a whole lot of flash, but these chunk plays add up a little bit. Uh-oh, we found out. Look at this.
Pickett retreating. Didn't pick it up initially. And the Panthers able to keep possession. Davis had the second chance at it, and he fell on it.
Well, just no chance at that ball, and takes a pretty good hop for Pitt. Pickett can't get it, and lucky after Drexel sent it over the head in his 4th career start of Kenny Pickett. Davis able to get it.
2nd and 28. Pickett sizes up the situation. Flag is out. Looking for Tayseer Mack. Dorian Jackson in coverage, 23 and white.
Boy, bailing him out right here.
Pass interference. Defense number 23. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Dorian Jackson is filling in for Deshaun Basell. And there you see that hands all over Tayseer Mack. And he's got a tough one to cover, but can't get into the hand fighting like that. Jackson, I'm sure they've gone at it quite a bit in practice. He's a Pittsburgh guy as well.
Pickett The pocket deteriorated quickly. Pickett on the run. I think I know what everybody in the stands was saying, James. Get out of bounds, Pickett. That's what he did.
He did. Nothing there for him, and so dangerous when he decides to tuck it and go. And usually going to fight for a couple extra, but not in this game anyway. Well, took that big lick, and the toughest guy on the team back out there, fortunately for Pitt, as they blow this one dead. Not sure what's going on.
Referees with a conference after the rush by Pickett. Tim O'Day and Kenny Pickett in a brief conversation. Trying to figure out down and distance here. From the 43, James. 1st and 10. Addison. Oh, what a move. Shook the defender, could not break free. Jordan Addison tackled by Zaire Barnes.
Have you heard the term, make you miss in a phone booth? Do you know what a phone booth is, kids out there?
That's right.
Yeah, splits them. How about that? The freshman All-American, now a sophomore. I mean, had two guys coming at him, had him in the vice angles, and he just splits them. Makes something out of nothing.
The sophomore Addison on that previous catch. Move at the 40 and caught. Stovall has that one. Pickett on the money to Stovall, and another first down, Pitt.
Starting to get things ticking a little bit here. Nice protection up front, plenty of time for Pickett. Nice timing route to Stovall and move those chains.
Pickett again. Leads his man perfectly. Wayne inside the 15. .27 yards to Wayne from Pickett.
Oh, Canada. Here you go, the junior from Ontario refusing to go down. Can't knock him off his skates. I wonder if he played any hockey growing up. Tough guy. But that's a nice hustle after the catch. And there's Harrison Taylor, who had the big play earlier, banged up. Hopefully he's okay. 20-7 the lead for his Broncos.
Walking and hydrating on the sideline for the Broncos in front of the Panthers with 9:44 to go in the second quarter. Panthers on the move, though, behind offensive coordinator Mark Whipple, who spent some time here in Pittsburgh with the Steelers as an assistant coach. Current drive, 6 plays, 61 yards, and just over 2 minutes chewed up on the clock, and we are in the CPI Security Red Zone. Thank you very much. Panthers with Kenny Pickett, who came back into the game, James, after Patty had to sling it for a couple of series.
Yeah, scary times for Pitt Panthers. And went into the locker room, and it looked like maybe he got the wind knocked out of him, or a shoulder type of deal. He hit the ground hard, but Kenny Pickett, the super senior, back out there. He made his 39th career start here today. And oh, by the way, on a 67-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter, passed up Dan Marino to move into second place all-time passing yards here at Pittsburgh.
Pickett over 8,600 passing yards. This time he will give it off. This will be Davis trying to work that edge. Goes up in the air and takes a tumble at the 9. Vincent Davis.
Fun to watch, good vision, knows he's got to bounce it outside, and makes a couple guys miss. Had Addison out there blocking for him for a little bit. You know, on this drive, Kenny Pickett and company, they've had 3 plays of over 10 yards. Some of those big plays they've been looking for. There's a flag that comes in late, Tom.
Addison, the intended receiver for Pitt. Addison has that TD catch of 67 yards in the first quarter from Kenny Pickett, his 5th touchdown pass of the season. Panthers are 2-0, wins against UMass and at Tennessee last week. In the Johnny Majors Classic, the legendary head coach.
Pass interference. Defense number 25. The ball replaced at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Here you see Addison just trying to come across, and where you can't stand flat-footed when you're trying to cover number 3. That flag there on Jake Mortal.
Pickett, end zone, and a touchdown for the Panthers. Lucas Crow has the TD from Pickett.
You knew it wasn't going to be too long before he found his big man, the transfer from the University of Florida. Good job of going back across his body. Big, strong hands to pull it down. Saw him yesterday in the facility when we went to talk to the coaches. And those Florida Gators like winning up in Knoxville, Tennessee. He said he's 3-0 against the Tennessee Vols up there in Neyland Stadium. Proud of that. Nice touchdown catch.
Flag is out. Flag is out. The TD pass was 2 yards from Pickett to Crow.
No. Decline it and take those points. That's the difference now.
Offside. Defense number 3. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a good PAT. Timeout.
There you go, Pickett buying some time, finding the big man. No. Go, Panthers. Hey, how does that work?
Nice. Kenny Pickett with his 2 today, 6 TD passes.
Good to have Kroll back out there. Remember, he only played in 1 game, that Syracuse game last year. Missed pretty much all of 2020. Lucas getting his master's in business here at Pitt.
Sauls to kick it away. Thumbs up, says Sauls. Nunnally is waiting for the kickoff. Ben Sauls, the freshman from Tip City, Ohio. Nunnally, 1 yard deep. Cut down near the 20-yard line. They'll give him the 19 or so. Yeah, they'll give him the 20. Yeah.
A couple guys using some helmets to push up.
Time for our Hardee's Star to Watch. And it's Sky Moore. What a game he's had so far, James. 6 catches for 68 yards and a TD.
Well, look at that. Speaking of a welcome back, missed last week, injured his knee against Michigan, but he wouldn't miss homecoming, would he? From New Kensington, Pennsylvania, Shady Side Academy. The captain here today, 24, getting busy and trying to add to a 6-point lead. They looked pretty good in the first half on offense.
Moore had just 2 catches coming into the afternoon. As James mentioned, did not play against Michigan. That was a loss on the road. Jefferson the carry. Dennis the tackle. So Vassier Dennis, the junior from Syracuse, New York. 2nd and 4, just beyond that 25-yard line for Western Michigan. From Kalamazoo, Michigan. The pass is incomplete. Defended by Hallett. And it looks like it's going to be a clean play against Crooms.
Nice job by Hallett. These defensive backs are finding out in a hurry. They're going to have to be crisp, and they're going to have to be tight. Great defensive play. Yeah, that back hand's on there, but he goes after that football and slaps it down. You're going to have to be right on the spot because Ellaby's putting those balls right where they need to be. So here's a 3rd down and 4 after the big pass breakup.
From the 26 for Ellaby. Takes a look. Throws on the run, incomplete near the 40. Looking for Crooms. It's incomplete at 4th down.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the first throw off the mark for the sophomore quarterback, Ellaby. trying to get a little bit of space, and had his receiver right there. Nice coverage there. You see Mathis more tangled up. Good job, Pitt, defensively.
Stovall's the deep man. Ellaby is now 13 of 20 through the air, but incomplete on third down. So a timeout.
Pitt, they're first of the half. It will be 30 seconds and late.
So Pitt has taken a timeout. Again, this is the first ever meeting between these programs. In fact, the last game against the Mid-American Conference team for Pitt was 2019. That was the Quick Lane Bowl and a victory against Eastern Michigan, 34-30.
Tom, I got to think here that Pitt had a feeling that Western Michigan was going to try to fake this, the timeout. Because, had it been, you don't really call a timeout on a punt return team, unless there's some big mix-up, you got the wrong people in there. And if that were the case, you would have seen Narduzzi pretty hot. Instead, hey, let's get them over here and coach them up. And now they're lined up in what appears to be a safe defense. I got to think that's what they felt like they were getting ready to get hit with a fake punt. And I don't think Western Michigan would have it on anymore.
They do not. Mahalik. Stovall backtracking. 26-yard line. Looked like he lost a piece of his equipment as he made the play on the ball and ridden out of bounds. On special teams for Stovall. Short return. Did you see something pop out, James?
Yeah, it was
is it a mouthpiece?
Ear pad or a mouthpiece? Probably a mouthpiece. More like it.
That's all right. The most important thing, catch the ball.
Yes.
That's what he did.
See the slow-mo shot of it, like the boxer. The Rocky mouthpiece going flying.
This has been a slugfest between these two programs. 20-14. Pickett back on the field for Pitt again. Drove him down the field. Last possession in a short TD pass. Pickett wants to air it out again. This one is caught. 35-yard line. Jalen Barton. The catch from Pickett.
We've talked about the accuracy ad nauseum for the other team, Ellaby, but how about this pretty ball by Pickett? A perfectly dropped football right in there for Barton's first catch of the day, the sophomore from Georgia. He's got the Pitt Panthers down into Western Michigan territory after that catch.
And just his second catch of the season for 36 yards. There goes Pickett. He's at the 20 and he slides in. And there was contact after the slide. And now there's a post-whistle conversation. Flag is out. Matthew Stuckey got a piece of Pickett as he was sliding down.
Well, you give yourself up when you go into that slide. The ball is marked where you begin your slide. Fortunately for Western Michigan, not where he ends, because that sucker went about 5 yards. But the trouble came when he popped back up so quickly. And I think the defender, I don't think he meant any harm. Didn't mean to hit him. He just ran into him.
There's no foul on the play. The ruling on the action was deemed to be legal. The player was attempting to avoid the contact.
Okay. I think that's a good pickup right there. So you'll see the end of it. I don't think he expected to see Pickett pop right back up like that so fast. Yeah,
well, the crowd doesn't like it, but here's Pickett now again, throwing to the goal line, and a touchdown for the Panthers. Pickett hits Addison, and they combine for the second time in the game for a touchdown.
Well, Addison going on mortal here, number 35. 35 has to recover and get back in the picture, but that ball thrown right on the money, even with the defender sitting right there in the hip pocket of Jordan Addison, and Addison doing an excellent job of going up and getting that ball. In those 50-50 balls, Mark Whipple wanted to see him a little bit better on those contested balls. That's one right there. And look at this. Oh, he had a chance to take the lead, but a missed extra point try. And after all that, we're tied at 20. here in the second quarter.
Oh my. With Chase Freedom Unlimited, I earn all this.
Not too happy with some of the last calls. I'm going to guess maybe it had something to do with that hit that they thought they saw on Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, Lindsay, I mean, he hasn't stopped since then and draws the flag in the 15-yard penalty. And, you know, the officials threw the flag, you know, on the fly. It's tough. It's tough to make the call. And they can go and have a few of the others kind of huddle up and talk it over. And I think that they made the right call of pulling that flag up. The defender just trying to kind of run through, and he's not like he's going down trying to hit somebody. Kenny Pickett giving himself up on the slide. Still ends up in the touchdown, but Narduzzi couldn't drop it and cost his team 15 yards. Unsportsmanlike conduct is the call on Narduzzi. A sideline that's already had a sideline warning earlier in the game.
On top of that, they missed the extra point, so Nunnally is back deep for the kickoff from Sauls. His teammate Sam Scarton missed that extra point, so we're tied at 20, but Kenny Pickett now 9 of 11, 182 yards and a couple of TDs. And with that pass to Addison, Pickett's up to 3 touchdown passes in the game. He's got 2 to Addison and the short one to Krull. Some big chunk plays for Pickett in the offense. 3 plays of 20 yards or more, and 3 of 10 or more on those last 2 drives, and they both resulted in touchdown scores for the Panthers. Bit of a short kick from the 6. Nunnally at the 30, and he crashes into the Pitt special teams. So decent field position for the Broncos.
But a good job on the cover team. This was a special teams that has had some trouble early this season. Nice job covering after the 15-yard penalty. So let's see if that flag, maybe if it adds a little bit of fire to this Pitt sideline, to this defense, then maybe it's worth it. Not too much of a plus for Western Michigan, but this quarterback and this offense hasn't always been easy to stop. Got the RPO going here in the first half.
Tyler broke a tackle near the 40, shoved out towards that Pitt sideline. That was Mathis who shoved him out.
Nice hard running by Tyler, refusing to go down. Hit looked like he was going to be dropped for a no gainer. Instead, he turns it into about a 9-yard gain, so a 2nd down and 1. Those first downs have been nice for Western Michigan, and a lot of times on the ground really opens up this offense for Lester and company in the play call.
Lester is a head coach. Has an 0-7 record against FBS Power 5 teams, but giving Pitt all it can handle with Sean Tyler on the ground. This Western Michigan program has experienced some success against Power 5. They're 13-69-1, and back in 2016 they went to Northwestern and beat the Wildcats. Kincaid will be the back.
Randy Bates was probably there on that defensive staff going to Northwestern.
Little play action toss. Ellaby incomplete inside the 20. A lot of contact between receiver and defender. Crooms and Hallett. There is no flag.
Good defense. I thought maybe we'd still see a flag. Let's take another look at it. There's Hallett, 31. Stride for stride. The only thing Hallett's got to get that head around, because they're prone to throw that flag when you don't snap that head around. Excellent coverage running right there in the hip pocket of the receiver. No flag thrown, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Hallett, the junior from Cypress, Texas, in the secondary, making that play on Crooms, who's been a popular target for Ellaby, the Broncos quarterback. Ellaby still has the football, slides his way to the 49.
That's happened a little bit too much here in the first half for Western Michigan. Ellaby and his back not being on the same page. You're going to see the back go one way and Caleb fake the other way. That's not going to fool anybody. Broncos trying to keep the pedal to the metal. 3rd down and medium. Randy Bates, the defensive coordinator. See what he's got for him here.
2 for 6 on third down in the first half. From their own 49 for Western Michigan. That one sails out of bounds, looking for Crooms. Hallett again, right there. 4th down, Broncos.
Even the best ones there in the defensive secondary are going to get beat. You know, Deion Sanders, he gets beat, but it's on to the next one. You got to have a short memory as a defensive back, and Hallett has had just that. He had a little bit of trouble early on, but he's been good here as of late. Great coverage there. Nowhere for Ellaby to go with the football. The pressure was coming. Good job to get off the field. Careful of a fake punt throughout the day here. Pitt.
Stovall. I think he was trying to stay away from it and caught it on the short hop. Now he's coming near side to the 17 or so. I don't know, James. It looked to me like he was going to let it bounce, but the ricochet was right in his breadbasket.
Well, you're taught as that punt returner to put those heels on the 10-yard line. And if it goes over your head, let it go over your head. This one hits before, but he couldn't quite get to it. And then you hold your breath as a coach, but you're so glad that he picked it up, because that ball could have easily died at the 1-yard line. And you've got your back on your own goal line offensively trying to march down the field with 5 minutes left. Instead, rolls the dice a little bit. You play some good baseball around here, too.
Maybe
a good shortstop.
The baseball field's just down the way. Oh, the ball's on the turf.
Wow.
Barnes for Western Michigan with the football.
Another bad snap. Well, they're missing Jimmy Morrissey, Kenny Pickett's old buddy right now. That one, well, a little high. Pickett brings it down, but then it messes up the timing. And how's that for timing with the guy they're trying to get in there? Rodney Hammond, the back, got the World Wrestling title belt over there on the turnover reward for the Broncos defense. Got the ball back in Ellaby and company's hands, but they've got to get that cleaned up. Drexel with the high snap, and it had the timing off for the young back Rodney Hammond, the freshman from Norfolk, Virginia, and Kenny Pickett. It was a nice block by Kenny Pickett to go up and get it and save the safety, but the damage is done right here. The Broncos with the ball back.
Second fumble recovery of the game for Western Michigan. Pickett had fumbled earlier in this half. That's Jefferson, who has returned to the game. Sat out a couple of series, but he has returned, number 3 in white. Jefferson ran for over 100 yards a week ago against Illinois State in the shutout win, 28-0. First win of the season, 1-1 record. Tim Lester, 5th year on that sideline for Western Michigan.
Lester's got to be happy with the job that his offensive line has done so far today.
2nd and goal, Broncos. Quick toss, goal line and in. Sean Tyler makes the catch and takes it to the house for Western Michigan. And the Broncos have regained the lead.
Similar type look that we had down at the other end earlier. Tyler slipping out, and he dropped the one there in the first quarter. But this one, it gets there in a hurry. It's a hard ball thrown by Ellaby, but he hangs on to it. It's so tough to defend. That RPO, you got to respect that run, especially down here by the goal line. And when you do, they get you.
So
how about that?
Yeah, 2nd touchdown of the game for Sean Tyler. Had a rushing TD from a yard out of the first quarter. And now a 5-yard TD reception in the 2nd quarter from Ellaby.
Sell it in just enough space. Not quite as open as he was down at the other end. But they'll take it. The sophomore from Newark, New Jersey, through the air and on the ground.
First receiving TD of the season for Tyler. Ellaby's got 2 touchdown passes. So the second turnover from the Panthers turns into 7 points. Western Michigan up 27-20. They led 20-7. Pitt came back with a couple of TDs. Each team has a missed extra point as well. And here we are with 4:17 to go for Pat Narduzzi. And the Pitt Panthers trying to stay perfect after winning the first 2 weeks of the season.
Too many balls on the ground, sorry, Tom, in this first half. Yeah, it's in the opener against UMass. Pitt put the ball on the ground 5 times. They only lost 2 fumbles. But that one right there, very costly.
The win against UMass was September 4th here at Heinz Field, 51-7, and they ran for 223 yards in that game. And then went to Tennessee and rolled up 397 yards of total offense. And won at Neyland Stadium. Stovall deep. Abanikanda is also back there too for Pitt. Stovall 5 or 6 yards deep. He's going to stay there. How about this football game in the first half, James?
Boy, interesting. I've been impressed with the offense of Western Michigan, yes, but you got to tip the cap to the way their defense has come in here and played as well. When you look at Western Michigan, you say the strength of this football team is the quarterback, the receivers, good offensive line. You know, you thought they'd have a little bit more trouble running the football today, but if you're a Bronco fan, you worried a little bit. How's that defense going to hold up against Kenny Pickett and company? I think they've done an excellent job of holding their own here in the first half. Let's see what they've got with 4:17 left in this first half. Remember, Pitt will get the opening kick of the second half. Trying to tie it up first things first.
Kenny Pickett, deep ball. Trying to adjust to the football. And that was Stovall who was back there as Pickett rarely aired it out. Stovall is still down, and there's a penalty marker.
Pass interference. Defense number 7. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Former teammates right here. Coleman, number 7, the cornerback, is a grad transfer from Pitt. Blew out his knee last year and has had 2 pretty good games this year, and that time he just stands flat-footed and lets Stovall run right by him, so he's playing catch-up the whole time, never gets his head around, runs into him, and that certainly will help with 4:09 left on the clock here in the first half. We got Coleman. We told you Bryson Garner, another grad transfer from Pitt, playing against their old teammates. In this offense, they went up against probably just about every day in practice.
9 of 11 for Pickett, 182 yards. That's up the middle for Vincent Davis. Zaire Barnes on the tackle.
Backed up by Grady Barnes. Also 20 moments.
Total yardage for both teams just about equal as we play late in the second quarter in the first ever meeting between these two programs. They'll also play next year in Kalamazoo. That one's intercepted. Dorian Jackson down the sideline for Jackson, and he veers out of bounds at the 20. There is a flag on the play, and did he step out of bounds prior to that? We got a couple things to figure out here. Either way, it's the first interception, if it stands, of the season from Pickett.
After the interception, block in the back on the intercepting team number 3. The 10-yard penalty being forced from the spot of the foul. First down, Western Michigan.
Well, I was just about to pat Zaire Barnes on the back, and you know what? I still will. Good coverage, and he's the reason why this ball has to be thrown wide. There you see the right side of your screen. Out there dropping in the zone and forcing that throw wide, and 2 guys breaking on it. Barnes almost could have had it not been picked off by Jackson. And then the block in the back, they'll take it back a little bit, but still another turnover for Kenny Pickett. And this offense, that's 3 now. And the ball on the ground a couple times that they got back. Got to clean that up, and now with 3:35 left Plenty of time for Ellaby and the Broncos to go down and add to an already 7-point lead. 27-20 with 3:35 remaining.
2 fumbles and an interception in this first half for Pitt. The last time they fumbled, the Broncos took it into the end zone. A TD pass for 5 yards. Ellaby to Tyler. Clock is ticking. Jefferson had the carry.
Second and 8.
Western Michigan has had the ball over 18 minutes in our first half, dominating time of possession. Ellaby trying to step up, and he's going down. Baldonado on the sack for Pitt. Flag on the play as well.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit, 60 offense. That 15-yard penalty being enforced from the end of the run. It is 3rd down.
Wow. Abba Baldonado, left side of your screen, little hop step. He hits that ground, running almost like a running back. Get up in the air, those cleats hit the ground in a little burst. Sack number 3, leading this defense in sacks coming in. The junior Abba Baldonado from Rome, Italy, went to Clearwater Academy International down in Florida. Only 1 year of high school football, doing some damage and making some guys mad. Just ask Mark Brooks, a little frustration there. The senior out of Portland, Michigan, with the late hit. So after that big turnover, now you're looking at 3rd down and 31. And you're probably looking at a little screen, little draw, something just kind of keep it safe. Give yourself a chance to punt it away.
Sacks the calling card for this Pitt defense. They now have 12 on the season. Had 5 a week ago at Tennessee. The 2 years prior to this season, 97 sacks as a team, 1st in the nation. This out on the edge, Moore up near the 40. Not going to be nearly enough. They had to get to the 45 of Pitt. And so 4th down now, James.
There you go, Baldonado. Hats off, takes his hat off. So we get to see the guy we're talking about, the sack man with sack number 3. And good job blocking by these receivers out there. And then you've got the missed tackle by Hallett. Fortunately for Pitt, you had the big man turning and going. Look at him come. Woo.
That was violent.
I know it.
Molto bene eccezionale from Baldonado from Rome, Italy. I've been working on my Italian base.
That's nice. Did you remember how to say spoon though?
I'm working on that. Yes, I'll get to that in a second. We've got some flags. I got to work on how to say penalty flag because we've seen a lot of them today.
Ball start. Kicking team number 9, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, speaking of working on the Italian,
spoon is cucchiaio, by the way.
Thank you,
yes.
thank you.
Okay.
We worked on it at Serafino's last night.
That's right.
Yeah. Narduzzi, he said, hey, you need to go eat my guy Joey and company. They took care of us.
They were great.
And I'm still working on that veal.
Still digesting that meal from last evening at Serafino's neighborhood Italian restaurant. Stovall deep. Mahalik gets it away. Wow. He really got some air under that one, and Stovall meets it at the 31. Did well to make the play on that sunny day in Pittsburgh with the temps in the low 80s. And before we continue, first a quick word from Works.
Works Landroid Robotic Lawnmower. Available at mylandroid.com. The future of lawn
by the Landroid. See that? Miss that soccer ball? Looked like Vincent Davis cutting out there. Sticking and moving.
We are on the natural grass surface here at Heinz Field, which will be utilized tomorrow for the NFL game between the Steelers and Raiders. Pickett, 30-yard line, up near the 35 for Pickett. It's a new surface installed, just the 2nd game on this surface here at Heinz Field.
Good, it'll get a lot of paint here as soon as this one's over. Makes it interesting when you come to Heinz Field, when there's a Steelers game the next day. You've got all the equipment for the TV trucks for the next broadcast, and the grounds crew getting ready to go to work. They're probably hydrating right now. They got a big day ahead of them.
Pickett, easy pass. Davis. Near the stick, the 41. It's going to be enough for Davis. Marker awareness, Vincent Davis.
Big drive here for Pitt. They'd really like to go and get something positive out of this, even if it's a field goal. Plenty of time, the whole second half to go, but try to get a little of that bad taste out of their mouths. It hasn't been a pretty first half for them.
Pickett with the time. That's a guard over the middle and caught. Stovall with the catch inside the Bronco 30-yard line.
Stovall left the game earlier after that penalty by Coleman. Good to see him right back out there. Plenty of time. We go under 120 left in the first half now for Pickett.
31 yards, previous play Pickett. Flushed from the pocket. Off balance, throw to the goal line. Right to Addison for a Panther touchdown.
Nobody there on the first look. Pickett's got to roll. Not only does he have to roll, but he has to hop. And how about the arm strength up in the air to be able to launch this one somewhat across his body, and Addison's waiting for it all by his lonesome right there on the goal line. If there's one guy on this offense, you better know where he is on every single snap. It's number 3, the freshman All-American from last year, Jordan Addison. Keeps on going.
Scarton missed the previous extra point. That one will not hang in any museum, but it counts for the extra point. We're tied at 27, and that's all that matters.
Where have you gone, Alex Kessman?
You wouldn't hang that in the Andy Warhol Museum, that's for sure, Bates, right?
No, you would. There are a lot of imperfections in there, but I like it. Maybe the Andrew Warhola, that he was called at a young age before everything was refined, huh? There you go, a little bit too easy. A couple of those easy ones here in this game. Western Michigan's had one of their own with the defensive back falling down. That time, Jordan Addison gets back behind the defenders.
And how about Pickett coming off the deck, James? He's now up to 247 yards passing, 4 TD passes. He left this game for a couple of series after he fumbled and got hit.
And it wasn't just maybe he's hurt a little bit. When he went down, I was scared for him. I enjoy watching him compete. I enjoy watching him play. And he looked like he was in a lot of pain. And this is a guy that coaches will tell you is the toughest guy on the team. So you knew something was wrong. Glad he's out there and still going. And, well, just like last week against Tennessee, Pat Narduzzi said, hey, we're going to have to weather the storm. They're doing it again. They, just take a little bit of a beating, but pop right back up like the Weeble Wobbles.
They scored 27 points in the second quarter last week on 5 straight possessions against Tennessee. They now have 20 points in the second quarter, 3 touchdowns, and the game is tied at 27. And Pickett, with that thick, lustrous hair, getting a breather on the sidelines. If you stick your hand in that hair, you might not get it out, Bates.
I guess. I think it gives him some nice shade on a sunny day like this.
I'll tell you what, you got to be impressed with Pickett today. No disrespect to Western Michigan, but Kenny Pickett has 4 TD passes, 67 yards, 2 yards, 23 and 28, 3 of them to Addison and 1 to Lucas Crow. That was the short yardage TD from 2 yards away in the second quarter.
Well, and that's the thing, too. You hear, it seems like coach speak, you hear it so much about as the Broncos go to the ground. It's 4 quarters of football. You got to keep playing. You got to keep playing. Well, it's a perfect example. Look at this. Kenny Pickett looks like he might be done for the day, comes charging back in. This is a guy in his career, he's had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks, and 3 of them were last year. UCF, Duke, and Eastern Michigan in the Quick Lane Bowl. Mac squad.
Keep an eye on that clock now. 35 seconds and rolling. Panthers have a couple of timeouts if they can stop them here on 2nd and 4. see what they elect to do. In the backfield and take it down. Tyler was the ball carrier, and he got wrapped up. Cansey made the tackle, and violently so, I might add.
Oh, look at the move by Kalijah Cansey. That's pretty. That lateral move by the sophomore from Miami Northwestern. That is a good-looking young defensive lineman. Timeout called by Pittsburgh, and that's a good timeout to use right there. Force them to punt it. They've had a couple rushes on the punt that have been pretty close. You got some dangerous return guys. But hey, Kalijah Cansey showing you that the number 8 over on the offensive side, he's not the only one, number 8, to keep an eye on. Willie Stargell, I think, wore number 8, didn't he? Pittsburgh slugger.
Pops.
Yeah, that's a good number around
1979.
here.
Family World Series. By the way, Kenny Pickett could probably throw a football to PNC Park from Heinz Field, where the Pirates play. Third and 8 for the Broncos.
Be smart with it. Don't turn it over right here and give them a short field.
That is going to be very close to the marker. It could be enough at the 35. It's only 9 seconds and rolling. It appears that the clock is going to run out on our first half, and it will. So at one point, Western Michigan, well, hang on a second. 1 second left, and the Panthers took a timeout.
For the same reason why he took that timeout on the play before.
They're resetting the game clock as well, James, to 4 seconds. And that spot is a little bit short of the 35. That was the line to gain for the Broncos. So just to reset things, it's now 4th and less than a yard. 4 seconds put back on the clock. Actually, 3 seconds were put back on because there was a second left when Pitt took that timeout. We're tied at 27. I was about to say Western Michigan led 20-7 and scored 2 consecutive touchdowns. Led 20-7, trying to pull away from Pitt. Here at Heinz Field, it did not happen. Kenny Pickett, 4 TD passes in the first half. Ellaby has a couple of TD passes to his credit as well, of 30 and 5 yards. Mahalik to punt. Block is on. Nobody deep for the Panthers. And that will officially do it for the first half. 262 yards of offense for Western Michigan, 322 for Pat Narduzzi and the Panthers. Each team with 27 points as we head to the locker room. Ellaby, a couple of TD passes. Hit Sean Tyler on a 5-yard TD pass after a fumble by the Panthers deep in their own territory. Let's go down to less than a minute.
Yeah, the big plays, looking for those explosive plays, and still not coming on the ground, but who cares as long as you're getting those big hitters. Guys like Jordan Addison. Stovall had a big first half as well.
322 total yards for the Panthers in that first half. Stovall had a couple of catches for 42 yards. Addison led the way, James. 5 catches, 125 yards, and 3 TDs for Addison in that first half. And there will be no return to start the second half. Addison is up to 5 touchdown receptions this season. Before we proceed, a quick word from Works.
Works Landroid Robotic Lawnmower. Available at mylandroid.com. The future of lawn care is here.
Second half, 27 all. Kenny Pickett, 12 of 15, 247 yards, and the 4 TD passes. Did throw his first interception of the season in that first half. Injured in the first quarter on a scramble run up the middle where he fumbled and gave it back to the Broncos. But here we go, 27 all. So glad that you're with us. Tom Wormy, James Bates, Lindsey Rowley, and our outstanding and talented ACC football production crew with you from Heinz Field, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And a beautiful day with those temps in the low 80s and bright sunshine here at Heinz Field. A view from Steamy Field level. Pickett. Time in the throw. What an adjustment and catch at the 31. Takes here Mack.
Good job by the senior Taysir Mack. Ball thrown a good bit behind him to just go up and adjust, focus on that football and lock it in.
Third and 4 for the Panthers. 0 for 3 on third down in the first half. Going to be 0 for 4 in the game now as Pickett gets tracked down. Fisk. Braden Fisk, James, the sophomore, 300-pounder.
That's exactly what Tim Lester told Lindsey Rowley. He said, we got to get some pressure on Kenny Pickett. We can't let him sit back there and make those deep throws. Well, Fisk and company, they answered. They came out first down. They shut him down on the ground. A nice 3-and-out for this Bronco defense. And again, Mark Whipple, Kenny Pickett, this offense, they've struggled a little bit early in games especially, and here they do it coming out of the halftime locker room.
Christodoulou. Nunnally at the 36-yard line. Fair catch. So the Broncos from Kalamazoo, Michigan, James, that's 376 miles northwest of Heinz Field. Out of the Mid-American Conference, they play in the Western Division. Last year, they played just 6 games and went 4-2. And so at quarterback now, it's Salopek for the Broncos. So Ellaby not in there right now. Jack Salopek, the freshman from Irwin, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania native.
Yeah, one of many Pennsylvanians here on this Western Michigan team.
That'll be Jefferson. Falls forward past the 40-yard line up to the 42. Jefferson has a TD run. That came on 4th down. A 1-yard touchdown run in the first quarter on a 4th down play. Now Jefferson appeared to be favoring the leg there as he trots to the sideline.
Yeah, Jefferson, fortunately for Western Michigan, they've got the 1-2 with Jefferson and Sean Tyler. Saw in the highlights Sean Tyler into the end zone on the ground and through the air there in the first half. He's back in the game now.
Salopek pass near the 45-yard line. That's caught by Torres.
85, Anthony Torres.
Well, wonder what's going on with Caleb Ellaby. Coming out of halftime, it's not like they want to rest him a little bit, or maybe they want to get Salopek some reps being a freshman. But it's not like they're giving him a breather. Maybe they just wanted to bring the new guy out and just in case they're going to need him in an emergency type situation, like Pitt needed Nick Patty. Bronco fans hope that's the case anyway.
First action of the year, Salopek, and that pass is going to be good enough for a first down to Sky Moore, who had a 30-yard touchdown reception of the second quarter. He now has 8 catches in the game for Sky Moore.
Salopek, the freshman, doing a good job of slinging it around a little bit. And a good job blocking outside. No block, no rock. You got to block if you want to get those passes. And Jalen Hall, he knows how to catch the passes. He knows how to block for his buddies as well and helping to lead the way and move those chains.
Good toss over the middle, past the 40. It's going to be Moore again, fighting his way. They had to drag him down finally. Eric Hallinan there. Rossier Dennis coming out of that pile as well for the Panthers. That's a first down for the Broncos. The Panthers had the ball to start this third quarter. Here comes Ellaby. So you saw Ellaby trotting back to the sideline area. Handoff. Skipping his way is Ladarius Jefferson.
Jefferson left a few snaps ago. Good to see him back in there. And what's not good to see if you're a Pitt fan is defensively, you'd like to think that this big bad Pitt defense, they've been solid over the past few years. And they've been really good against the run. And they pride themselves in stopping the run. You'd like to see them step up and stone these backs rather than these backs get hit. And they'll fall forward for about 3 or 4 yards, it seems, way too often.
Pitt was second in total defense in the ACC last season. That's Jefferson on the carry. They were first in rushing defense, James. They only allowed 93 yards per game, and that number was third best in all of the Football Bowl subdivision as Ellaby warms up on the sidelines.
That's good to see, and you know, the defense, it goes on and on. I mean, they were second in the nation in sacks. They gained 20 turnovers last year. They like to come up with a big turnover here. The offense has given it up way too many times.
3 for 10 on third down for the Broncos. This is going to be a couple of yards short. Needed to get to that 28-yard line. Jefferson on the carry. Maybe to the 30.
Calling Ellaby back in here for a 4th down try. Yes, sir.
Let's go down to Lindsay.
Guys, as we saw Caleb Ellaby out for a little bit, everybody was wondering why. Apparently he was getting an IV. I mean, I can vouch. It's hot down here. Hydration is going to be key as this second half goes on.
Great reporting, Lindsay. And he's back in the ball game, feeling okay. Going forward on 4th and 2. Ellaby hands it off. Where will the spot be on the forward progress? Again, they needed that 28-yard line for Sean Tyler. Broncos are already lining up.
Well, Tyler was spinning and fighting, and then there's that stone that I talked about just a few snaps ago. You know, you'd like to see those big bodies come up and just smack them and stand them up. And that's what they do right here on a 4th down when they absolutely had to. A great job by Servassier Dennis. Not going an inch further forward. And on 4th down, that's a huge play.
Not enough.
2 links.
And the home opener, first week of the season against UMass. Then went on the road, beat Tennessee last week. And now all they want from Western Michigan. Kenny Pickett through the progression. Nothing available. Tossed it out of bounds toward that Western Michigan sideline. Fisk was providing pressure in the grill of Pickett.
Well, the sack on 3rd down, the last time out, the 3 and out in the opening series, and that time he had the protection. There was good coverage by that secondary that's had a tough time hanging with those receivers later on in the snap, in the play. That's a nice defensive play right there, Tom.
Addison nowhere to go.
Pittsburgh guy, rather, Dorian Jackson, the senior. Watch him get rid of Taysir Mack. Get out of here. Come on, Taysir Mack. You got to at least get in his way. I mean, that's just way too easy for Jackson. Good play, but still, Mack's got to do a better job of helping his guys out.
0 for 4 on 3rd down. Pickett short hops that one to Stovall. Now they're 0 for 5 in 3rd down situations. And on their second possession of the second half, they gave it right back to the Broncos after stopping them on 4th and short.
Well, back-to-back 3 and outs. And a Western Michigan team that drove it a little bit until they were stuffed on 4th and 2. Going to give it right back to them, and it looks like Ellaby will be back in there after the freshman took over. Playing with fire. You got to take advantage of these possessions.
Nunnally, the deep man, the senior from Cleveland, Tennessee, waiting for this punt. Mr. Dulu, kind of a wobbler. Oh, that checked up near the 45-yard line. Down at about the 44 or so. Decent field position. Western Michigan tied 27 all after the 28.
Interceptions to Pickett's one. Couple fumbles as well for Kenny Pickett. Missed that opening series. Lindsey Rowley told you he was perhaps dealing with some cramps at halftime. Had the IV, but he's back out there and looking fresh. Fresh market fresh. How's that?
Pickett was able to pass Dan Marino, as you mentioned, James, to move up to second in the all-time passing yards list. Alex Van Pelt 11,267 yards passing. He's the all-time leader here at Pittsburgh. Ground game.
Maybe like Ellaby wanted to pull that one, but Tyler hanging on tight and slowed up a little bit perhaps, and just a gain of 2 on that one. Look at Pickett and Patty. And that Pitt offense trying to figure out how to not go 3 and out. First series, second series of the second half, they've done just that. And thanks in large part to a stingy Bronco defense.
2nd and 8. Western Michigan, 1-1 on the season. This pass on the money inside the 40. Breaking the tackle is Corey Crooms. And Crooms goes to the end zone for the Broncos.
Here's this RPO. You get the same look defensively you did the play before, from a run to this. It's going to be a completion, going to be a first down. Whoops, bodies running into each other for Pitt. And it's an easy trot into the end zone. That's the second time here today. It's been too easy for these Bronco receivers with the defenders falling down in the secondary. That time it was a collision that knocked him down, and how about that? Western Michigan back on top.
Second receiving touchdown of the season for Crooms. Blasting past that secondary for the Panthers, and that's the 3rd TD pass for Ellaby. TD passes of 30, 5, and now 54 yards to Corey Crooms.
You know, and another thing, these receivers, they are a lot of these slants over the middle. They know that they know the ball is going to be there on target. That's one thing you got to expect out of this sophomore Ellaby. But another thing, you know, as a receiver, you're going to get hit. Just as Ellaby knows he's going to get hit and he's going to feel it, his coach is telling him. These guys, they've got to be strong, and they've got to just focus on that football. And they can't worry about getting hit with all that action across the middle. You're going to take these big licks. And that time, the sophomore Crooms, who coach is talking up the job that he did in the spring and summer. There's Ellaby having a good time. But there's a look at it. You know you're going to take these pops with this RPO. You've got the bodies there in the middle banging. Look at them blocking down the field for these guys. This offense is clicking and looking pretty good. And Ellaby's just dropping it in. And, of course, hitting those slants. That's what he does best. And there's a look. I mentioned the defensive back, Devonshire, falling down earlier. It's a nice balance, and there's the last touchdown to Crooms, a sophomore from Hillcrest, Illinois. Broncos aren't going anywhere.
They've got the lead, 34-27, on the 3rd touchdown pass of the game from Caleb Ellaby, the sophomore from Maryland Heights, Missouri. And now it's up to Mark Whipple's offense, led by Kenny Pickett. How about Ellaby so far, James? 17 of 26, 257 yards, and the 3 touchdown passes.
And he's tough, too. He's not just taking a lot of hits here today. He took a lot of hits in that Michigan game. And it doesn't faze him. Over on that stationary bike, even with the cramping, even having to go get the IV, he's still staying loose here on this hot Saturday in Pittsburgh.
Move at the line. Davis. Shifty and elusive and tough. Ball came out at the end of the play. Looked like that one's going to be whistled dead. They're marking it just short of the 35-yard line. Davis on the carry for Pitt.
Let's see, though. Tom, that ball's out. That's Western. Oh, they got the snap off. And they don't even stop it. Good job by Whipple and Pitt. Man, dodging a bullet. That should be Bronco football right now with a 7-point lead. But instead, Pickett's over the ball before anybody can take a look. And they'll move the chains. Wow.
You notice Davis, 2 arms wrapped around that football, and that run right there for a first down.
Good heads-up play by Pitt to be on top of it.
Pickett, the time, the spin, too far. Too far. Looking for Taysir Mack. Dorian Jackson back in coverage for the Broncos, 23 in white, senior. Kenny Pickett, the senior, Oakhurst, New Jersey. 4 touchdown passes. That's the most since Nathan Peterman, who will be in a Raiders uniform tomorrow against the Steelers. Threw for 5 against Clemson back in 2016. Pickett has to step up. Slides down shy of midfield. In fact, they'll mark him at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, that hit has changed things a little bit for the way Kenny Pickett's playing the rest of this football game anyway. You know, sliding a couple yards early, knowing you got to get up there near that first down marker, but not taking any chances. Empty set here.
Pickett. 2 gloves, Kenny Pickett inside the 35, and he slides down. They'll mark him at the 34-yard line. Pickett converting the first third down of the game for Pitt. They're 1 for 6 on third down.
Mark Whipple spreads it out. Empty set, so you spread out the defense, giving Pickett a chance to do what he does as good as anything. Survey the field, nothing there, tuck it and go. Find my empty space. And defenders with their backs turned, covering guys down the field, trying to guard against that first down. And he gets them with his legs. Nice job there by number 8. And the safe slide at the end as the chains move.
20 yards on the run by Pickett. Throws this one to Davis. Backs his way inside the 25-yard line. Vincent Davis on the grab with a junior, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That game I mentioned against Clemson, James, back in 2016. Pitt went to Clemson and beat the Tigers back in 2016. With Nate Peterman at quarterback.
Tim Lester talking about it's one of his favorite games to watch on tape. Davis any day of the week. There's something about him. He's got that scrap to him. He's the short in stature. He can hide behind that offensive line. And you know, the Tennessee game, he didn't by any stretch light it on fire, but just enough when they need him. A couple big third down runs. He and Izzy are a good 1-2 punch, but he coughed that one up. And if you missed it, boy, Pitt right over the ball, snapped it before they could take a look at it up in the booth. Keeping this drive alive. Well, I can't wait till the 4th.
Make sure you stay with us after the third quarter for the 4th, presented by CPI Security.
Oh, I didn't even see that graphic. I was just saying I can't wait till the 4th. What do you know?
By the way, Davis, 19 carries, 33 yards, and a rushing touchdown in the win at Tennessee, 41-34 a week ago.
Went to Cardinal Gibbons High School down in Fort Lauderdale. Josh Fogg, the Dragon Slayer. You know who he is,
You mean
right?
the pitcher for the Rockies you're talking about, right? Okay.
Back in Rocktober. Remember Rocktober? Like 2010, something like that?
Pickett over the middle, crawl into the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers.
His first touchdown, I thought it was a nice, big, strong catch. Went up there with the big paws and pulled it in. You talk about strong and focused on that football. Goes airborne. Looks like he's coming off the top rope. He does look a little bit like a professional wrestler. Lucas Kroll, second touchdown of the day. Had a big touchdown against UT in the win last weekend. And double dose in the end zone here today.
Kroll is up to 4 TD receptions on the season. Pickett's up to 5 touchdown passes.
Pickett missed this big tight end last year. Boy, excellent job. Again, too, we talk about guys going over the middle, knowing that they're opening themselves up and they're going to take a lick. Going low on Pickett and with the flip on into the end zone. Here we're speaking about baseball and pitchers. Josh Fogg. Here's Lucas Kroll, was actually drafted in 2018 in the 34th round as a pitcher by the San Francisco Giants. Panthers glad he chose football.
All right, our 5-star drive summary brought to you by Yellowwood. 7 plays, 75 yards. Pickett to Kroll. An abundance of touchdown passes from Kenny Pickett. His most recent target, Lucas Krull, for the second time today. And guess what, James? We're all tied at 34. That's the Yellowwood Drive summary. Doesn't have that yellow tag. Shoot, James!
Shoot, you don't want it.
Oh, gets me every time.
Lucas Krull knows about the head ball coach.
Hey, he'd enjoy this game, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
Maybe he's watching.
A lot of offense. A lot of offense.
It's a fair catch made. By the way, we want to congratulate James Bates in advance. He won't be with us next week. James will be in Gainesville for the home Florida game. And they're going to recognize the 1996 National Championship team. And so you'll be down there with your buddies, Werfel and such.
Lawrence,
enjoying the recognition, and well-deserved, James.
Well, thank you. And, you know, it was a long time ago, so don't congratulate me. Don't pat me on the back, Annie. I feel bad bailing on you guys, but you know what? Haven't seen those guys in a while, and I'm really looking forward to getting back in the swamp and watching the Gators and being with a lot of great teammates, a lot of good friends and family. And shoot, swimmers getting recognized as well. Big party weekend.
Ellaby got rid of it, got hit. It's complete. That's Crooms fighting his way on the sideline to a first down as we check in with Lindsay Riley.
Yeah, guys, I'm over on the Western Michigan sideline, and after Pitt scored that last touchdown, Caleb Ellaby, he popped up full of energy, went around to everybody on his offense, giving them high fives, pumping them up. So wouldn't be surprised if we see a big drive here out of Ellaby.
Absolutely, Lindsay. And you know, and mentioned it earlier, he's been that way, just a natural leader from day one. Early enrollee, stepping on campus and just taking charge and being the juice.
Jackson Kincaid for a short gain. Ball now at the 38-yard line of Western Michigan. Kenny Pickett, 5 TD passes. That is now one short of the school record set by Dan Marino, who had 6 in a game. Said Dan Marino's name a lot today. Pickett went past him on the all-time yardage list into second place. Past Marino.
More times than Ray Finkel said it. We'll say in a positive way, though, right?
It's an incomplete pass with a flag attached. The intended receiver was Crooms. That's Battle for Pitt. Rashad Battle, the sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia, shaking his head.
Pass interference, defense number 15. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Let's see. You know, I think Battle felt like the ball was caught. No, he's there early. He's there early. It's a good call either way. But I thought maybe Battle was reacting to almost to a caught ball, but he was upset. But that's the right call, and just helping out this Bronco offense that really hasn't needed much help here in this football game. Helping themselves, just marching up and down this football field in a fresh set of downs as we near the end of the third quarter. Told you I was excited about the fourth, Tom. It's going to be all 4 quarters.
3 minutes and 46 seconds away. He was looking for Hall.
Oh, my goodness.
I know why you're laughing, James. Damari Mathis on coverage.
Look at the Mathis looking out of the corner of his eye.
Snap it.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I mean, that's a Rob job right there. Oh.
We move ahead to further action. Tied at 34. Up there midfield for Western Michigan. Out of the Mid-American Conference. Flag is out. Play continues. Ellaby. Tough throw for the right-hander moving left. Devin Danielson was trying to chase him down. Danielson has one of the 2 sacks in the game along with Baldonado for Pitt. There is a flag we must sort out first before we proceed.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Offense number 77. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
James, that's 4 penalties on Gideon, the freshman.
Yeah, shoot, you hate to focus on a guy, but you got to grow up in a hurry. against some of these tough defensive linemen, these linebackers they're forced to go up against. An experienced offensive line for the most part. And the new guys just got to get some birthdays under them, but along the way, just got to play smarter. You got to play within yourself and do all you can. You can't hurt the team like that. Backing up again. This happened a couple times here in this game, shooting themselves in the foot. Ellaby in the offense.
An offense that averages close to 42 points per game. Third in the MAC. That's a punishing run from Sean Tyler. We put a little extra mustard on the tail end of that one, James, here at Heinz Field.
So as not to cramp.
That's right. If you've been with us all season long. You know that mustard may have some medical value when it comes to
Does
cramping.
Heinz make ketchup? They make mustard too.
They make it all.
They make. I know they make ketchup. They make mustard as well.
They make it all. So a player shaken up for the Panthers. That's Phil Campbell, senior. Campbell up and walking to the sideline under his own strength. Across the way, Coach Lester and the Broncos have acquitted themselves quite nicely against the Pitt Panthers. As we mentioned, Coach Lester looking for his first win against an FBS Power 5 team. Last win for the Western Michigan program against Power 5, 2016. They went to Northwestern. They also went to Illinois. They had a perfect regular season that year for Western Michigan back in 2016 and appeared in the Cotton Bowl. How about that?
As a player, Lester had a big win over a Power 5 team against Vandy.
He did back in '98. Yeah. Nice, James.
We'd like to get this one as a coach, that's for sure. And this brings up a big 3rd down and 12. See if they can stay on the field offensively.
Chase Pine has come into that secondary to replace Campbell, who was shaken up on the previous play. Call it 3rd and 12. Just beyond the 45-yard line for the Broncos and Ellaby. Pressure comes. That is complete. Crooms again, spinning his way inside the 30-yard line. Corey Crooms is having a day out there.
You know, they don't flinch. Just when it looks like Pitt's got the momentum back a little bit, you're backed up with the penalties. Look at that window. Talk about threading the needle. The accuracy of Ellaby and Crooms, who had the big touchdown just a little while ago, moving those chains. 3rd down and 12. What a punch to the gut for this Pitt defense when you feel like you're going to get off the field and get the ball back in the offense's hands. The Broncos just keep the drive alive. Huge pickup.
8 catches for 148 yards and a TD of 54 yards in this quarter for Crooms. Handoff up the middle. That was Kincaid who put the head down. Smacked into the defender near the 25-yard line.
And again, I mean, this is where the Pitt Panther defense under Pat Narduzzi and Randy Bates, this is where they make a living. This is where they hang their hat and take a lot of pride in stopping the run. 1st down, 5 yards a clip. That can't happen. That you can't allow that. It opens up so much in this RPO offense, and with a quarterback like Caleb, makes it even tougher.
Big hit on Kincaid. So Pine, who just came into the game, delivered that hit to Kincaid.
Wow. Lowers the hat. Got to be careful, though, lowering that hat. That's way to wake it up a little bit there defensively. There's the big lick they were looking for.
4 for 12 on 3rd down. 3rd and 4 for the Broncos. Ellaby directing traffic. He's up to 294 yards passing and 3 touchdowns through the air. Wants to toss it again. Out of the flat, Tyler trying to turn that corner near the sticks. Inside the 20-yard line for Tyler on a 1st down.
Excellent job by Tyler. You don't see Ellaby off the mark very often. This time the ball's, he made it tough on his sophomore running back, Sean Tyler, coming out of the backfield. Tyler does, as we take a look at an injured Pitt player,
That's John Morgan, number 6. We'll check on his status in just a moment. Tied at 34 with the Broncos driving.
Tom, just to finish up, Tyler goes back across his body, not only able to catch that football, but then to turn it up, put the foot in the ground and turn it up, go north and south and move those chains. That's an excellent play by the running back there for Western Michigan.
41 seconds to go in the third quarter. This game far from over. Incredible football game. On this big slate of ACC action, Coach Narduzzi's team knotted up with Western Michigan. Miami, that's our destination next week as they take on Central Connecticut. They're hanging tough with Michigan State late in the third quarter and trailing 17-14. So we're keeping an eye on that score as well. So with 41 seconds to go in the third, as Morgan gets help to the sideline for the Panthers, the Broncos in the CPI Security red zone. 2 for 4 in the red zone in the game for the Broncos. Couple of rushing TDs. Tyler and Jefferson, the presidential duo in the backfield for Western Michigan. 1st and 10. Ellaby. End zone one-on-one to number 1. Flag is out. Jalen Hall came up with the football. He appeared to be well out of bounds, but there was a flag thrown in the vicinity of the play.
It's Devonshire, and the sophomore MJ Devonshire, he's got to trust his coach, and he's got to trust those reps that they've had so many times in practice. You're right there. Those eyes get big on that receiver. Just snap that head around. You're going to break it up, maybe even intercept the football. You're right there. Just trust it. Those eyes get big. Those hands go up.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Ineligible man downfield, offense number 72. Pass interference, defense number 12. Those fouls offset. 1st down.
Another look at the end of it. He sits right there, right in the lap of the receiver for a long time, Jalen Hall. Nowhere else to go. You know that boundary's there. That's your friend. And it's wiped off with the ineligible downfield. Unfortunately for Pitt, just helping him out. Help yourself out. Get a turnover. I know they don't dunk it over on that sideline anymore, but get some excitement going for that Pitt defense.
Just 17 seconds to go in the quarter. This is Tyler. Stutter step outside, around the corner, and Tyler taken down inside the 5. They will mark him out right at the 5-yard line for Sean Tyler, the sophomore. He got 14 yards on the run.
Excellent job to seal that edge, and then Pine gets caught standing flat-footed. Tyler surprises him as a linebacker. You got to flatten and go cut him off. Take that angle. Yeah, it may be a 3-yard gain instead of a 1-yard loss, but you got to make a tackle.
And that is the end of the third quarter with the Broncos knocking on the door. That ball down near the 5 of Pittsburgh. We are all tied up going to the 4th. 34 all. The 4th is next. 5-yard line, 1st and goal. Trying to break this tie. 34-34. Ellaby at quarterback for Western Michigan. He's got 3 TD passes in the game. 1st and goal from the 5. Jefferson. 3-yard line for Jefferson. He had a TD run in the first quarter.
In that first half, it was Western Michigan down in this same situation at this same end. Ended up going for it on 4th down. They were stuffed once on 4th down in the middle of the field. Not the case, though, down on the goal line. You better believe playing for it all right here. We'll try to use all 4 downs to try to punch it in that paint.
298 yards passing for Ellaby. From the 3. Handoff to the goal line. And in for the touchdown with Darius Jefferson. At the goal line, there is a signal being made by an official at the far end who just walked in. The official at the near end is spotting it short of the goal line. We have conflicting signals, but there has been a touchdown signal made.
Yeah.
Trust me, because I wouldn't say it unless I saw it.
Well, there you go. There's another look at it. And the official on the far sideline is right. It looked like a little bit of a standoff. You got your peanut butter and my chocolate. You got your chocolate and my peanut butter.
Everybody's still kind of standing around.
The ruling on the field of touchdown is under further review.
It's a touchdown.
So it was a 3-yard run from Jefferson. If it stands, it's a touchdown, and the Broncos.
See why it's confirmed.
It's time for the PNC Panthers Sports Update. Next Saturday is coming.
So the second rushing touchdown of the game for Jefferson James, and now he's got 5 to lead the team. 5 rushing touchdowns on the season. Most importantly for Tim Lester, he has put the Broncos out in front here early in the fourth quarter. 40-34. Sampson is in for the extra point. Hands on hips for Pat Narduzzi. I don't know that he expected this kind of tussle, James.
No, I don't think so. I know that they respected this offense, and I know that they felt like it was a quarterback that could come in with some receivers that could throw it around a little bit. But you had to have confidence in your defense. And the weak spot coming in, a lot of people thought, was the Western Michigan defense. But I think the Western Michigan defense has really done a fine job for defensive coordinator Lou Esposito, the former Memphis Tiger.
Sampson's extra point is good. Jefferson, 15 carries, 54 yards, and the most recent 3-yard touchdown run. 41-34. So Ellaby is up to 298 yards passing. Sky Moore and Crooms, those have been the 2 popular targets. And for more on those guys, let's go to Lindsay.
That's right, guys. You know, Kenny Pickett isn't the only one breaking records. Sky Moore has a career-high 9 catches today. Corey Crooms with a career-high 7 catches. Crooms also has 148 yards in counting. So receivers for Western Michigan certainly stepping up here today.
Yeah, Lindsay, it's not just a career high with the 7 catches, but that 148 for Corey Crooms is a career high as well. Glad to have Sky Moore back out there after missing last week. Looks pretty healthy right now.
Sky Moore had 2 catches coming into the game today. He's made up for that. So that's Ellaby on the sideline, being attended to for the moment. But we'll keep an eye on Ellaby, the Western Michigan quarterback. Moore and Crooms combined, 16 catches, 247 yards. The rest of the team, 7 catches and 71 yards from the goal line. Stovall had him around the ankles, and he gets past the 20, about the 22 or so for Stovall. Let's see what kind of answer the Panthers have. What a game this has been. And that guy's been a huge part of it. Ellaby, 20 of 31, 298 yards, and the 3.
Timeout on the field for a Western Michigan injury.
You know, Lindsay had the report on Ellaby receiving the IV at halftime. Here's when they grab those calves like that, you got to think that's a cramp. And back over to the sidelines, it looks like more cramping over there for number 5, and that's
grabbing that left hand and wrist too, James. It's been a long fight out there for both of these teams.
I'll say Kenny Pickett's been banged up as well.
Right, he had to leave for a couple of series. In fact, Pickett with the 5 TD passes. The Panthers have only had the ball just over 14 minutes as far as time of possession is concerned. And also consider Pickett did not play 2 of the series when he left in the first quarter after getting banged up. Nick Patty came in. Pickett wants a deep ball. spins it up the middle of the field down the seam. Addison got tangled up with the defender, and there are 2 penalty markers down by the 40-yard line.
That's the freshman Ryan Kilberg drawing the flags. Multiple flags there.
Pass interference, defense number 29. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
We saw early in the game they like this matchup, and how could you not? A.J. Thomas is out with the injury, so it's the freshman. The coaches really like his toughness. Again, just kind of like offensively, need him to grow up a little bit.
Stovall near the 45-yard line. They'll mark him at the 44 as Taylor made the stop on Stovall. Talking about Addison, his day is 6 catches and 124 yards and 3 TDs, number 3 in blue and gold. After an incredible freshman year for Addison where he caught 60 balls. This is Stovall again. He got thumped at the tail end of the play by Fisk.
Nice job, Jake Mortal. Recognize and react. Don't make that play before these speedsters can get turned upfield. Don't give them a chance to get those shoulders square. And hanging on for dear life. Good job, 35. So a 3rd down and 4. If he misses that first tackle, its chains are moving, but forcing a big play here for this Pitt offense.
1 for 6 on 3rd down in the afternoon for the Panthers. Pickett, quick release. Flag is out. Sideline ball to the 45. Short of the marker, there is a flag, and the catch made by Bard, number 10. Is it just me, James, or have there been a lot of penalty flags?
A lot of penalties, a lot of injuries.
Personal foul, hands to the face, offense number 55. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. 3rd down. Number 10, Western Michigan does not have to leave the game for 1 play. His helmet was off due to foul.
All right, way to sort that out. It was Matthew Stuckey right there in the middle, walked up. And there you're going to see the penalty immediately, hat coming off. And since the flag was thrown, he doesn't have to leave the game. You know, I think to a coaching point there with Barton, know where you are on the field. Too many penalties.
How about 19 flags,
teams.
James, in the game? 19 flags. 82 yards against the Panthers, 117 penalty yards. Over the middle, that's Jared Wayne. That's a couple yards short of the 47. 3 catches for Wayne.
Nice job and a nice play call. There have been so many interference penalties when the ball's thrown down the field. See if you can get a freebie. You get it right up by those sticks, and here's a 4th down and 1. Let's see who wants it more at midfield.
Pickett hands it off. Vincent Davis wanted it more. He's got enough up close to the 49.
Good job out of the offensive line, and that's what I'm talking about with 22. I mean, he's got no business turning forward for 2 more yards against those big guys in the middle like Aguirre, but he just finds a way. He's scrappy, and he helps this football team win football games.
Pickett. Taysir Mack got turned around, and it's incomplete. 11:36 on the clock.
Good job by Mortal there, stride for stride with Mack.
Despite the incompletion, James, Kenny Pickett is over 300 yards passing for the 9th time in his career. He's right now at 304 and 5 TD passes. He'll hand it off. That's going to be a loss. That'll be a loss on the play. Vincent Davis taken down by Zaire Barnes in the backfield.
Opening up the barn door. Here comes Zaire Barnes. As soon as that ball snapped, just blowing it up. Blowing it up. That's more than penetration. That's just disruption and chaos in the backfield. That ball's going nowhere in a hurry. Nowhere but backwards. Very active Zaire Barnes today, the junior from Illinois.
Just 1 first down on 7 tries for the Panthers. Pickett got a little extra time, dropped it off. Bartholomew.
Incompletion to 86.
Making a catch. That's into Western Michigan territory, but it's 4th down.
And they're out there. 4th down and about 4 to go. There you see the blitzer, and a good job to pick up by Vincent Davis. Just chips him off enough to disrupt the route and help protect his quarterback. Here's your 4th down.
Just got one a moment ago with Davis. Kenny Pickett is pressured, and he's spun to the turf. Ali Fayad has the play for Western Michigan on 4th down and a big loss all the way back near the 35 for the Panthers.
2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Fayad, a sack and a half coming in. That one should count as 10. Bit of a spy, shadow, delayed blitz, whatever you want to call it by Fayad, but the stutter step just enough to make Gabe Hoy there, the right tackle, unsure, and then he just blows by him as he turns on the jets. Man, what a big play on 4th down. Drop Kenny Pickett. And, I mean, talk about a shocker numbers-wise. Pitt now 1 for 8 on 3rd downs and 1 for 3 rather, on 4th downs. That wasn't supposed to happen in the eyes of Pat Narduzzi and his football team. They were supposed to be the tougher ones. And this was a Western Michigan team now. You look back to week 1, and yeah, they got handled by Michigan in the Big House, but they didn't get pushed around. They didn't get out physical. And they're not doing it here today. They're definitely winning that battle, it looks like.
They've got an open receiver at the 30. That's going to be Sky Moore adding to his totals. Touchdown reception in the 2nd quarter of 30 yards for Moore, 41-34.
And you've got the freshman, Jack Salopik, back in there throwing the football. Here comes Ellaby back in, who showed you earlier dealing with those cramps.
Moore has 10 catches in the game for the Broncos. 2nd and short. He gets to the 28-yard line. That's going to be enough for a 1st down. That's Jefferson. A couple of TD runs in this game. How about what Western Michigan has done today against the Pitt team, that all-time against the MAC, 32-4 in the Panthers' history against the Mid-American Conference.
Taking their time, letting that play clock just tick on down. Under 9.5 minutes left to play here in regulation. And they'll milk it to the very bottom of what is now 5 seconds to snap.
There's a hole on the right side and a spinning move inside the 20, but there is Jefferson, running with confidence and poise.
I don't know that we've given enough credit throughout this day to Mike Caliendo, the center, the captain, and his guys up front, French, Gideon, Detheridge, and Brooks. A physical front, just opening up those running holes.
Also credit to Eric Evans, the 5th-year offensive coordinator for the Broncos. They'll go right side, and that one's incomplete. Defender had a jump on it. Marquez Williams on the corner. They were looking for Nunnally.
They'll be lucky to have that one back. A nice break, nice read by Williams. You know, even after the miss, it's just good to see a little bit of the reaction, just the juice. You know, how much are they carrying right now? It's not a team, you know, to see her Mac down here. It's just like the body language. You want to see some fight in these Pitt Panthers, trying to make it 3 wins to start the season for the 2nd year in a row. You gotta act like you want it.
3rd down. There's some open space. This is Moore to the end zone. Stepped out at about the 3 or 4. I'll mark it at the 3-yard line. 16 yards on the play. 1st and goal.
Again, look at the big traffic jam out there, and these guys do such a good job creating traffic for their buddies. That time it's Jalen Hall again. And Hall's been fantastic, not only catching the ball, but anytime he's asked to block, he's going to do his job. They're coaching him up good out on the outside here, this wide receiver room.
After the 16-yard play, 1st and goal from the 3. Broncos. Not on this occasion. Sean Tyler is stacked up by the Pitt D. Sky Moore, James, had that previous catch. He's got 11 grabs for 124 yards and a touchdown in the second quarter of 30 yards from Ellaby. What a day for the Broncos.
Well, how about the depth at receiver? Not only do you have a guy that can get it to him, and an offensive line, mind you, that's clearing the way, and some backs that are better than advertised, but the depth at wide receiver, it's going to be an interesting season for other teams in the MAC. Western Michigan trying to hold on to a couple rival trophies.
2nd and goal. Ellaby in trouble. Dropped. Phil Campbell on the play for Pitt.
The money backer with a big money drop right here. Boy, did they need that. Phil Campbell, it took a few guys going after him and finally flushing him out and nowhere to run as Campbell's cleaning up on the outside.
That moves the ball all the way back to the 14-yard line. 3rd and goal for the 14, Western Michigan. That play by Campbell could turn out to be huge. Ellaby. Pressure again. He's going to run with it. He gets hit and dropped. Near the 14-yard line, Kalijah Kensey with a textbook tackle. So it looks like the Panthers, James, might hold him to 3 here.
Kalijah, he's had some big plays in this game. Look at the sophomore. Just laying the lumber on the sophomore quarterback, forcing the field goal. It's a big stand here for the Pitt defense.
A 42-yard miss in the first quarter for Sampson. This one is good, just inside that right pipe. So the field goal from Sampson ups the lead. 44-34, 10-point difference, 4th quarter. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Broncos trying to stun the Panthers with a 44-34 lead, James, after the 29-yard field goal from Parker Sampson here in the 4th.
Yeah, well, they let him down near the goal line and turned him back with a couple big plays there, Campbell and company. But still, with the points, it's a 2-possession game.
Teams combining for 199 yards of penalty yardage. And the Broncos dominating the time of possession, over 36 minutes of ball control, and just about 18 minutes for the Panthers. Although the Panthers have had some very quick strike drives. We showed you 3 of them that were less than a minute in total, scoring drives for Pitt. Down by 10, but if you've got Kenny Pickett, you've got a chance. 5 TD passes in the game for Pickett. That is 1 short of the school record. And Pickett, who will lead the offense, has now gone up to 48 career touchdown passes for Pickett. 2 to Lucas Krull and 3 to Jordan Addison, the sophomore from Frederick, Maryland. Mark Whipple in the middle of that huddle, instructing Kenny Pickett and company on offense, James.
Yep, trying to make it 6 career 4th quarter comebacks for Kenny Pickett here in his 39th start. And look at the rush yards versus the penalty yards for Pitt. That doesn't help anybody out. It's, well, more of the same for Western Michigan. 117 penalty yards. Here we go.
Pickett to pass. That one near the 40. It is an incomplete pass.
Wow.
Coleman looked like he was close to having an interception there. Wayne was the receiver.
The old teammate watching Wayne the whole way, and there you see trailing a little bit Coleman, but able to come underneath Wow, what a big play that would have been for the former Panther, coming back home and just about sealing the deal.
Pickett eluding the rush. To his left, Krull, 35-yard line. James, if you noticed on the tail end of that replay, on that previous play before the catch by Krull, Wayne knocked the ball away in the last second out of the hands of Coleman. Well, that would have been an interception.
Turn into the defender. I didn't see that. Good job. Great job by Wayne. Might have saved the day. There's a nice catch to keep it going by Krull, the tight end.
Pickett's pass. This is Wayne carving his way up the field. That's close to another first down, right at the 45-yard line. The spot isn't enough on the spot. Moment made the tackle of Wayne. It's not quite enough, half a yard. So second and short for the Panthers. 4:42 and counting, fourth quarter. A long afternoon at the office for the Broncos and the Panthers here at Heinz Field. Pickett eludes one man, saunters out of bounds near midfield. In fact, they'll mark him just short of midfield at the 49.
Nice job by Pickett. And when you're given the opportunity, you know, this game isn't over yet. That's the guy you got to lock down. You got to make these tackles, make the proper angles. Yeah, it's a quarterback. Yeah, you don't think he's going to be that fast, but hey, it's Kenny Pickett. He's crap.
Here at Heinz Field, Coach Narduzzi's team trying to stay perfect in the early part of the season with wins against UMass and Tennessee. But trailing here in the fourth. Kenny Pickett's had a big day with 5 touchdown passes. Right now, though, even that is not enough against this Western Michigan team. And regardless of the outcome, James, the Mid-American Conference better watch out for the Broncos.
Absolutely. It's a team that currently holds the victory cannon. It's the trophy that goes to the winner of the Central Michigan, Western Michigan game. 3 straight wins there. And the Michigan MAC trophy. So pushing people around. And Louisville, we showed you that big win on Friday night. Boston College, that's a final. Boy, look at Miami. Dang, they're going to fall to Michigan State unless they do something in a hurry. 62. Nice win for Syracuse. No, Virginia Tech trying to come back. The Hokies just up the road. Bet you that was a fun one to watch today.
Hokies were 2-0 going in. One of 4 teams ranked in the top 25 in the ACC. That also included Miami as well. Clemson and North Carolina in the top 25. Virginia Tech had a win first week of the season at home against North Carolina. Here's Pickett over the middle. Wayne, 30-yard line. Jared Wayne, close to the 25. And inside the 25 for Wayne. They still can't bring him down. They mark him at the 22.
Wow, Wayne's been big today. Nice big target there in the middle. 6'3", 210-pounder. He can throw it too. Remember, he had the touchdown pass against Tennessee and just dragging that pile all the way. Clock's down near 4 minutes left in the game.
Last play went for 29 yards.
Might have been a helmet that went off there on Carter, having to leave the game for one play. So here we go, fresh set of downs, clock's running.
Pickett. Down to the goal line and in. Touchdown for the Panthers to Jalen Barton. Touchdown pass number 6 in the game for Kenny Pickett.
Spreading the love, Kenny Pickett. Nice pocket, good protection up front. Little bit of pressure late, but plenty of time for the sophomore Barton to come open across the middle. That's an easy throw for number 8. The captain trying to bring him back and do it in his career at Pitt for the 6th time, a fourth quarter comeback. Extra point coming. See if they'll trail by 3.
49th career TD pass for Kenny Pickett. And that one brings the Panthers to within 3, 44-41. And inside of 4 minutes to go in the fourth. And Pickett has tied a school record with the 6 TD tosses.
Just gets passed off and lost there, the safety. Just too deep with that crosser. A little miscommunication perhaps in the defensive secondary and taking advantage of it, making them pay. Barden and Pickett. Down but not out. You said it earlier, Tom. You know, these guys may be down, but they've been down plenty of times before with Kenny Pickett running the show.
First
They're
TD,
never out of it.
Yeah, first TD catch of the season for Barden. Pickett now coming into the game, he had 4 TD passes. So give him 10 on the year. Now it's 44-41, 3:48 to go. By the way, he's also tied Dan Marino's school record of 6 TD passes, set back in 1981 by Marino. So he went past him in career yardage. Now he's tied him for TD passes in a singular game in the history of Pitt football.
Well, look out. They still need some more points. Wouldn't that be a doozy?
Pitt football goes all the way back to 1890, James. They were known as the Western University of Pennsylvania. Pitt in the end zone once again. Off the arm of Kenny Pickett. No return, 3-point game. 3:48 to go. Wow. Each team with a full complement of timeouts as we play late in the 4th.
Will this Pitt defense step up and shut them down, get a 3-and-out? You haven't had a lot of 3-and-outs for this defense. Look at Ellaby's numbers, 22 of 34. Going to try to add to that right here. You got to come right back at them. You can't get too conservative. You got to go those RPOs. Dance with who brung you here?
Nothing on first down. It's a loss. Baldonado tears Sean Tyler to the turf.
Watch how the Baldonado, right side of your screen, boom, they're in a hurry as soon as the ball goes into the breadbasket of Sean Tyler. He's there waiting on him. And he comes angry when he gets back there, 87. I find it hard to believe that he didn't play much other than 1 year of high school football. He's just a natural. I guess when you're nasty like that, you just belong on a football field and you find a way to make it work. He's got him making noise in Heinz Field right now.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Jefferson. Keyshawn Camp in on the play for Pittsburgh.
A tough one here. Tim Lester's going to use a timeout, one of those 3, or Pitt rather, on our graphic. Stop that clock. So a tough situation. This 3rd down and long, 3rd down and medium. It's where Pitt likes to bring the blitz, and they've gotten to Ellery a few times here today. They've had some big hits on him. It's got to protect that football. And again, you can't get too conservative here. Big first down is huge, but I don't know that you can get it on the ground. Long way to go, and it's not 4-down territory. I don't think you go for it on 4th down right here. Here comes the crowd.
Ellaby still has it, releases it to Crooms, past the 40. And they convert on 3rd and long. Corey Crooms with the grab, and the sticks will move.
Crooms adding to this career day, and why not? Why wouldn't Tim Lester believe in this sophomore? Look at the hit he takes as he delivers it. Look at the hit that Crooms takes, and he pops right back up. What a huge 3rd down conversion. Those slants have just killed this Pitt defense right up the heart. of this defense all day long, and when they need it the most, they keep the drive alive and move those chains as we go under 2.5 minutes now to play. Pitt now with 2 timeouts remaining.
8 catches for 161 yards and a touchdown for Corey Crooms, the sophomore. Back to the ground with Jefferson. Might not have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Timeout taken Pitt. Ball's at the 40. Pitt takes timeout.
Good job, the penetration again. Penetration that hasn't been there much today, but it sure has here as of late. Wendell Davis that time knifing through. Junior from Richmond, Virginia. Remember the big play last year? He had the block punt and return for a touchdown against the Knights. Big win in the ACC over those UCF Knights by Louisville last night. Wait, Michigan State up on Miami and West Virginia up on Virginia Tech. Western Michigan, Penelope trying to stay fired up and steal a win from the ACC, and Pitt right here with 2:16 remaining. And how about the quarterback? Talked about his leadership throughout this broadcast. Tim Lester and company think the world of him, and you can tell on that 3rd down throw that they certainly trust him. After the 1-yard loss, it's 2nd and 11 now.
Broncos haven't beaten a Power 5 team since 2016. Got 2 wins against the Big Ten that year. Tyler broke away into the secondary. Tyler, 30-yard line and tripped up. Sean Tyler. Big run for the Broncos.
Herein lies the rub. When you get so aggressive and you get that penetration and you bring those blitzers and they can get one by that first wave, that's where the big shot comes. And look at Tyler. I mean, you pat these guys on the back, the offensive line, Ellaby, these receivers, but Jefferson and Tyler, Kincaid, hats off to them as well. These backs have run hard. Man, what a gutsy performance by Tim Lester's squad here today.
34 yards on the run by Sean Tyler. There is an injury timeout on the field. It was Sean Tyler who was down at the tail end of the play. And the ball is spotted at the 26-yard line of Pitt. And now the Panthers have used their final timeout. Drama in the late stages of the 4th quarter, 2:07 to play. On a career day for Kenny Pickett, it's the defense that has to make a play now with the Broncos driving.
Offensive coordinators and head coach Tim Lester, Eric Evans, Mike Bath got to remind their ball carriers, secure that football. Can't give up that rock right now. That's the most important thing in the world. They want to try to hang on to this win. As for Pitt, get us that ball back. Rip it away. Everything you can. Get us that football. Out of timeouts.
507 yards of total offense, including 356 through the air for Tim Lester and his Western Michigan Broncos. Jefferson, 20-yard line. Got to mark him at the 21. The Panthers cannot stop the clock. Now it's a mathematics game. 150 and rolling.
Well, they can't stop the clock, and they can't afford to give up another run like that. They can't get 5 more yards, and it's ball game. They've got to stuff this Bronco offense, and it's an offense led by Ellery. They're gonna let this one go down to 1 tick left before they snap it.
2nd and 6 for Caleb Ellaby. Jefferson. Short of the first down, inside the 20. Clock continues to tick.
Look at it again. You know, it's Mark Brooks, the senior, big right tackle, just moving those big bodies around. Nice job for this offensive line here today. It's always a very tough defensive front seven from Pittsburgh. Protect that quarterback and opening up some run holes has really been the nice surprise if you're a Bronco fan against this defense. It prides itself in shutting down the run.
2 for 2 on 3rd down on this drive for the Broncos. Based on the spot, that's a little bit short. But does it even matter, James? It does not.
Nope.
It does not.
Wow.
Western Michigan comes to Pittsburgh and defeats the Panthers 44-41. Closing seconds, and Pat Narduzzi just cannot believe it. On a record-tying day for his quarterback, Kenny Pickett, who threw 6 touchdown passes. It was not enough. 44-41, the Broncos defeat the Panthers here at Heinz Field. What an effort by both teams in the game, James.
Well, and I'm a fan of Ellaby.